Hold on. A little technical difficulty here. I got squished. There we go. Hello, shiny happy people. Thank you for hanging out with that quick technical difficulty. Welcome to Organized Chaos. Today we are playing Jason Statham's Big Vacation, a microgame based on the Honey Heist system that has been tweaked for Jason Statham. Joining me today are... Oh, everything. Sorry, hold on one second. Everything, for some reason, got squished in my settings. Wow, that's annoying. That's suspicious. Well, hey, you know what? I managed to get everybody's face at least. So there's that. At least. There we go. I think that's much better. Jason Statham's Big Vacation. Stacey Axelrod, co-op member, host of a show that happens when this show is not airing on Mondays. Generally all-around delightful human being. Thank you for joining us. Sorry?
No, I was like, should I introduce myself? Should I say anything?
Go for it.
I don't know. Oh gosh. Yeah, I am a part of the co-op and host Every Rose Has Its Thorn on alternating Monday nights, which is a queer bachelor commentary show with my friend EJ. And then I also host a show that's on hiatus with Karen. And so far, it has been a Schitt's Creek commentary show, but I think we're going to be transforming a little bit after the break.
It's a delightful time to spend with the Schitt's Creek cast and crew and get a little retrospective, and a great way to get information about The Bachelor and Bachelorette if, like me, you can't watch them, but you really like to hear the discourse, especially from a, feminist, non-straight perspective. And playing with her, trying to keep Jason's vacation on track in spite of everything that's going to be thrown at them to try and get it to go away and go bad. The estimable Jessie Pridemore.
Hi. I'm an actor, but most people probably know me from the cosplay community. I was on Sci-Fi's Cosplay Melee as one of the competitors, and I have been in a couple commercials for cosplay, and I make costumes for video game companies, because that's a thing that has to happen.
And she's very good at it. Very good.
Thank you. Very excited to be here with these two lovely humans, and this is my first time playing anything on... Well, I guess I've done a couple things on Twitch, but this is my first time playing a game on Twitch.
Ooh, I'm excited.
You get to pop my Twitch cherry with games.
I mean, that's the best way to go, right? Well, so let's do a really quick overview of Jason Statham's Big Vacation. There are going to be maybe 4 rounds of this at most. It's possible that the game may end a little bit early, but first off, what we do is I'm going to read you directly from the manual. Jason Statham, international movie star, is on his holiday, but his own impulsive nature and the actions of his rival, the Wesley Sniper, could ruin everything. It's up to you, a skilled team of operatives paid for by his management, to ensure that Jason has a great time on his vacation. So, Jason Statham will be played by me. I am your Statham master for today. Each character starts with 2 stats, stability 3, and adrenaline 0. As the game progresses, if you do things that are stressful or could get you injured, you will be instructed to move a point from stability into adrenaline, and you have to now add that adrenaline score to your roll, so it makes it harder to succeed at things, because this is a game where you want to roll low. A standard success for this game, and when you don't have a skill, is you roll a d12 and you want to get a 4 or lower. If you do have a skill, you take whatever skill you can justify using, and you need to get that number or lower. As such, there are four pre-gen character classes that come in. We have the lawyer, who has Law Lore 9, Spin Doctor 7, Eye for Detail 6. A tour guide, Local Knowledge 7, Follow Me 6, Extreme Sports 5. A private security, These Hands Are Weapons 8, These Hands Are Also Weapons 8. An extraction 6. An agent who has Statham Lore 8, Failed Actor 6, and Narcotics 6. So we'll start with Stacy. Can you tell us who you would like to play today and tell us a little about your character?
Yes, so I am going to be Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, a lawyer. And he is, well, you'll see. He is very determined and very driven by justice.
Excellent. This seems to really fit with Jason Statham's whole action persona. Excellent. I look forward to see what Phoenix does. Jesse.
I'm Bulky McMuscleface, and I will be playing private security.
Bulky McMuscleface. What do you go by? Is it like Bulks, McMuscle, McFace? What is it?
Yeah, definitely McFace.
McFace. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What are your pronouns? What's McFace's pronouns?
You know what? It doesn't matter.
Gender agnostic. So, McFace.
It's actually two midgets in a muscle suit.
That's his gender.
Yes.
Excellent.
Actually, I'm not even sure. That was probably not a PC term. I'm very sorry.
It's better than he, him, king. So yes, we have Phoenix Wright, 8, Ace Attorney with Law Lore 9, Spin Doctor 7, Eye for Detail 6, and Bulky McMuscleface, who goes by McFace. Private Security, These Hands Are Weapon 8. These Hands Are Also Weapons 8, and Extraction 6. Excellent. So when you try to do anything, you roll a d12, but you also roll a d6 along with it. And if at any point the d6 and the d12 happen to be the same number, something wild and random happens. Depending on the situation, y'all are welcome to pitch the wild and crazy thing that happens if you want. Otherwise, I, as the Jason Statham Master, will just let Jason run wild. Just his wildest dreams. So, let's see, what do we do now? We're going to pick our first scene. So, Jesse, do you have a d20 on hand?
I do.
Would you roll a d20 to determine what our holiday outing is?
All right. Hang on, let me bust out the 20. All right. No, it wasn't a roll. 1.
1. Awesome. Our scene is going to an art gallery.
Oh no.
So, before we start, we have this thing called the Statham Tracker. Oh no, hold on. I'm on the wrong. There we go. We have the Statham Tracker. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
Oh, hi. Come here.
We all have cats who will be making appearance on these broadcasts. This is the Statham Tracker. There are 4 possible tracks: Death, Sadness, Boredom, and Arrested.
Come here.
In a bigger game, in a longer game, there can be up to 8 tracker, like tick marks that you can get. We're only playing with 6 because it's a small group and shorter game. Hello, Gritty Kitty.
This is Grady Kitty.
Very
I'm
cute.
trying to.
He's highly chaotic.
Excellent. Fits right in. Welcome.
Tuxedo. It's a very nice tuxedo.
Yeah, eating my arm now.
And Gritty has his own Instagram,
He does.
if anybody's interested. So the Statham Tracker, what's going to happen here is the players will pick one, and then the Statham Master will pick one, and those will be the 2 trackers that we are engaged with. If at any point I feel, as Jason Statham, feel like one of the trackers is getting closer and closer to me. The
Ouch.
players will have one chance to get Jason out of whatever funk he's in. And if not, I roll a d3, and whatever the result is, add to the Statham tracker. And if we hit 6 or over, immediately we stop the scene, because if we've been tracking death and it goes to 6, Jason Statham is dying and we have to fix this immediately. If he's overwhelmed by sadness, he breaks down in tears and there's a PR disaster. If he's arrested, he gets jailed and you have to free him. If he's bored, Jason Statham calls his mom, played by the inestimable Helen Mirren, to come pick him up. And the players get one chance to make sure that nothing bad happens. Their actions can decrease the tracker by 1, 2, or 3 increments, depending on if they do a small, medium, or very impressively large task. So, we're going to the art gallery. Players, what track do you want to play going to the art gallery? Do you think this is going to lead to Jason's death? Do you think it's going to make him sad, bored, or potentially get him arrested?
I think it's going to get him arrested.
Yeah, I would agree.
Arrested? All right, so our first track that we are concerned with is if he's gonna get arrested. And yeah, it'll be indicated by these little arrows. I think really pairing up with this arrested, what might lead him to getting arrested is boredom. So you have to fight him, his very chaotic nature, if he's either gonna be real bored or like real arrested. Cool. And then I'm going to really quickly figure out what the Wesley Sniper machinations are. Y'all don't get to know this. I will seed it in as it goes. Oh, interesting. Okay. And every single scene starts with drama. Either Jason breaks down the door, he jumps in through a window, or does something impressive and actioning to start the scene. So, are we ready? Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, McFace, are you prepared for a trip to the art gallery with Jason Statham?
Let's do this.
Let's go. So, it's the holidays. Jason Statham is in LA. He's between shooting some movies. His next movie's a couple months away, and he's taking it easy in sort of the Malibu area. And Phoenix, you've come by this morning because you've had a couple of little contracts, a couple of like little things, deals and stuff that you need Jason to sign himself. It won't really do for your assistant to sign it for him in these cases. So you're there pretty bright and early, but it is now like 10:30 a.m. in the morning, and so you've just been hanging around stressing about all the work you're not doing. Meanwhile, McFace, the private security who was hired just for this vacation because Jason's normal security also happened to have vacation right now, is McFace, what are you doing with this attorney? How do you feel about attorneys in general?
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of attorneys, and that's just because I've been at prison. So, you know, I'm a little skeptical about how this lawyer could possibly help out my boy Jason. Yeah.
So Phoenix, you're getting a little bit mean mugged across the table. Kind of glaring at each other, and you're both stuck in a little glaring situation when all of a sudden from the ceiling gives in and Jason Statham falls through the ceiling onto the island in a perfect like, whew, I'm ready to go. And he looks at you, McFace, and he goes, Face Mc, we're going to an art gallery. I want to see some motherfucking art. Art me, baby. And then he looks over and goes, you brought another suit? We have to fight to make sure that you're as good as you think you are. And Jason Statham is approaching you with fists raised, ready to fisticuff. To be clear, he thinks you're also private security.
I just let it happen. I just let it happen because I don't care about this lawyer.
But I am just here to get your contract signed. But I can fight. I'll fight.
Excellent. So now you're going to fight Jason Statham, first off in the morning. Please give me a roll for that. Let me know if you can justify Law Lore, Spin Doctor, or Eye for Detail to do that. Otherwise, you're rolling a 4.
So Eye for Detail.
Uh-huh.
I think that I could quite easily spot some of Jason's weak points and potentially figure out what would make him most sympathetic to play this fight off into a respectful and prideful brief sparring encounter.
Okay, so you're going to use Eye for Detail to have done a good study of Jason's fighting style and general, deal. All right, give me a roll. Let me know what you roll, 4 or below.
And that's a 12, right?
On it, the D12, but also roll the D6 and
Okay.
tell me if that number matches the D12.
Okay. They do not match. The 12 is a 3, and the D6 is a 5.
You did
So-
it.
You succeed. You still get beat by Jason Statham because he is martial arts and action star extraordinaire, but he's very impressed with how you approach the whole situation. And he's like, "Oh, all right, you're all right." And he turns to you, McFace, and he's like, "Not as good as you, but okay."
Of course, You know that is your lawyer. I didn't bring that guy.
I'm bored with this now.
Uh-oh.
So now you have to come up, the two of you have to come up with a way to make Jason unboard.
Let's arm wrestle.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We've decided to arm wrestle.
We've decided to arm wrestle. You have challenged Jason Statham to an arm wrestling competition, and he is here for it. Let's go. And he does he pumps up, he rips the sleeves of his shirt off, and he goes, he does that thing on TikTok where he's like, "Are you surprised to see this?" and rips it off and goes, boom, and his muscles are like,
Is that a thing?
and then he puts himself down on the table and presents his golden arm to you.
Okay.
Give me a roll. Which one are you using?
The D12 is an 8. And the D6 is a 1.
Well, I mean, if it's an 8, you don't have to roll the d6.
Shh, I wanted to do it anyway.
So your hands are weapons?
My hands are weapons.
Your hands are weapons, and it shows because Jason Statham is more of a full body martial arts expert. When you take away parts of his body and he can't use those magnificent hips to really get the momentum going, yeah, you're a professional. He's actually kind of okay with the fact that you just beat him, and he feels better and more secure in his security. And he's like, "Great."
Maybe I should have been security McScure space.
You can always change your name.
No, it's fine. I'm fine with McFace.
And Jason looks at you and goes, "I myself have reinvented at least 3 times. One day, I'll tell you about the naked music video dancing." And then he just starts walking off towards the front of the house. Going to an art gallery.
All right, let's go.
And he
I
takes...
just need these things signed.
So do y'all hurry after him? Because...
Yes. Yes.
You hurry after him?
Hurry after him.
You hurry after him to the front door, and you realize that 3 steps from the front door, he has melted into a puddle of boredom. Just literally
Wow.
between one step and the other, just did that thing that 3-year-olds do when they really don't want to go somewhere and they just down. And so he's just sprawled in the foyer.
I think we should give him a tickle fit.
He's bored.
I think we should tickle him.
Tickle him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So McFace is going to tickle him. Phoenix.
What Well, I think I'm going to take a feather and attempt to do the same, but just with the feather and where his nose once was.
So we're doing Feather Wake Up from Phoenix, and McFace, how's your tickle? What's your approach? Just straight fingers?
These hands are also weapons.
They're deadly weapons. Were you in a documentary at some point called Tickled, just for background sake?
You know, I can't tell you. However, I can tell you that I'm familiar with it.
Intimately?
Yes.
All right.
Pun intended. By the way, if you haven't seen Tickled, you need to see it, but you cannot look up what the movie's about. You have to go in completely free and clear, have no idea what that movie's about, and then just sit through and watch it, and then watch the additional features on HBO.
Okay, it's all on HBO?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's a
Yes.
wild ride.
Yes. You don't know what it's about, right?
No, I have guesses now.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's fine because you'll never guess correctly.
Yeah, no, not in a million years. It's one of those delightful documentaries where you're like, oh, you started doing a thing, and then you like realize what you were actually doing, like halfway through, and then it's like, oh, and this took you to a place you were not expecting. Interesting. Okay,
It's really
maybe.
good. It's on HBO. It's called Tickled.
Yeah.
All right.
So, guess, give me your roles to tickle Jason Statham out of his boredom. What, if any, of your...
Okay.
Oh,
All right. I rolled an 11.
Okay.
So no.
I rolled a 3 and a 1, so not matching.
Cool. So, McFace, you go into tickle Jason Statham, but Phoenix gets there first and just takes his you don't even know where this feather came from, and just
My quill pen for signing things.
oh, there you go. Quill pen for signing things. This makes sense. And you just drag it lightly under the nose? Is that... Yep, back and forth. So that when McFace goes to tickle Jason, he startles up and he basically is ready to fight you, McFace. So you need to protect yourself from Jason to make sure that you don't get a point of adrenaline.
Oh no. All right. So I have to roll again.
Yes.
I rolled a 1 and a 3.
Cool. So you succeed. Y'all have a little tussle. Jason pops up and he's like hopping around. He's like, "Yeah, that was fun. Let's go."
All
And
right.
he's
In the
looking at
car.
y'all to see where to go, where to do, how to get there. He is a celebrity. He does not actually know how things work anymore.
Of course.
So what do y'all do? How do y'all get him to this art gallery he supposedly wants to go to?
Put him in the back seat with one of those SUVs that has the television in it, and the television is playing SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah, and his limo has a hot tub. So, like, he can sit in the hot tub and watch SpongeBob SquarePants, right?
Yeah.
That is a really good point. So he's easy, loads him up in the car. He's sitting in the hot tub, and y'all are traveling to an art gallery. You have a driver. Y'all are sitting facing him on the seats that go right up to the partition where the driver and the passenger would sit, watching him all the way in the back in his hot tub near where the doors are, and you're just kind of staring at each other. And at first he seems content to sit in the hot tub, and then
feel a little
he tries to
jelly.
throw himself out the door. He looks at you and
Oh.
goes, "I'm going to practice my barrel rolls," and starts to go to open the door and throw himself out of the moving limousine. What do you do?
What's the name? Falcon, right? From
Phoenix.
No.
No, do a Falcor. Do a
Is
barrel
it-
roll?
Yeah.
Do a barrel roll.
He calls to him and is like, "You can't practice a barrel roll in the middle of traffic."
Jason Statham looks at you and goes, "I have before."
No. The actual guy that says do a barrel roll calls him.
Oh,
And is like,
oh.
You can't do a barrel roll in traffic.
So, in order for that to work, either you have to know him and call him up and get him on the phone, or
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so you're friends.
We were buddies. We were buddies in the army, so you know.
Excellent.
All right, so I roll.
Yes, you roll, and Phoenix, think about what you are doing. You can also choose to just like sit back and watch what happens, but
I rolled a 5 and a 5.
I'm gonna lock the door while this is happening.
Smart. So,
Double
But I'm gonna
5.
do it really dramatically, like.
All right. Give me a roll to see if you get to the door lock before Jason manages to throw himself out.
I got a 7 and a 1.
Oh no, you both failed, which means I'm currently gonna roll on the Statham tracker for this would be arrested. This would absolutely be arrested. He's doing it because of boredom, but the results of it are him getting arrested. So we're gonna
Or killed.
Well, luckily we did not choose the dying track. Ooh, and that is a 3. Oh shoot, I chose the wrong one. Sorry guys, I did not realize that. So we are at
Jail.
an arrested 3. Yeah, your friend doesn't pick up McFace, and Phoenix, you get barely miss him opening the door and throwing himself with a wave of water into traffic, and you just hear the blaring of horns, the squealing of tires.
I think I've seen this scene in Cats Don't Dance.
Yeah, it's distinctly possible.
Yeah, I think I've seen this scene, yeah.
Do cats dance, dude?
And Jason successfully, if any cats want to come dance, we're always for it. It's always acceptable. And Jason throws himself out and is gone. And y'all are like, fucker, what are we gonna do now? The driver realizes that somebody opened the door and slams on the brakes. So y'all are sent pitching forward. And
I catch Phoenix. I
very kind
protect
of you.
Phoenix.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Do I have to roll for that?
Yes, give me a roll for that, and if you fail, you will take you'll move 1 point from stability into adrenaline.
A 5 and a 1.
So, Phoenix, you are caught by McFace, but the way that you fall into him sort of jars McFace's shoulder a bit. So, McFace, you are now stability 2, adrenaline 1. So you have to add 1 to your rolls.
Hang on, my computer froze. Oh, okay. So it's 6 and 2. Right?
It's stability 2 and adrenaline 1.
Okay, explain that to me.
So you have stability 3, adrenaline 0. Whenever you get stressed or injured, you move 1 point from stability into adrenaline, which means you now add +1 to all of your rolls for this scene.
Okay.
And I'm going to reset this probably at the beginning of each scene so that it's not cumulative through. But we'll see how it goes. So, yes. So that's what happened. The car's been slammed. You have both
I tried, Phoenix. I tried.
Well, you saved Phoenix. Phoenix is now not injured. You just injured yourself in the doing. I'm basically saying as private security, you absolutely saved that person. Whether or not you get injured was essentially what you were
It's my
going for.
headcanon that McFace and Phoenix actually have this weird love story.
I think that could happen.
I have been sensing an underlying tension where the hate part of this is actually secretly lust and love.
Oh, deep lust and a lot of pride.
And you know what? So much pride. So much pride.
All the pride. So yeah, now y'all are trussed up against the hot tub. The door is just wide open right there. There's a highway stretching across from you, and Jason Statham has just hurled himself from the car. You hear police sirens coming quickly. What's your course of action?
We're on a bridge, and I say we grab Jason and jump into the LA River.
Yeah.
And the
Probably-
role is whether or not there's water in the
If it's rained quite a bit, McFace, I feel like you could probably justify extraction for this.
Oh, okay, then let's do extraction. I called the helicopter already, and the ladder is like down. Like the ladder is down. I just need to grab him and grab that ladder, and then we're just out.
Oh, so you called like a full-in team of helicopters.
I have
to
an
bring them.
emergency button on my phone. If
Excellent.
I double click the power button, it just automatically pings my location. True fact, my phone actually does this, and I've done it accidentally a couple times, and it's not fun for the people on my emergency list.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be very scary.
Yeah. I think it's on Apple phones too, but I have an Android.
It is on Apple phones, but you have to press it like 6 times rapidly.
Yeah.
Yeah, our choice is 2 or 3, and I had to set it to 3 because I set it off twice in a row. So I was like, maybe.
I would set it off all the time.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a good feature, but you know, it's not great when it accidentally goes off. All right,
Writing
so
down your emergency button, by the way, for future reference.
do you want me to add you to my emergency button so you can also get false emergency?
Jesse, I want all of your emergency information.
Okay, that's fine.
Especially if it's all going to be fake.
This is my wife. All right.
Yes, so Phoenix, what are you doing to try and convince Jason to go along with this? Because he's currently now sort of dancing and doing striking poses in front of...
Well, I think that I would use my spin doctor abilities to profusely describe the benefits of jumping into the river to avoid the police.
Helicopter. We're doing helicopter now.
Oh, the
since-
helicopter.
Yeah, since
Yeah.
since McFace can use extraction, McFace has
Oh, right.
summoned
Helicopter.
a
Okay.
helicopter.
So it's more training. You know, if we get in the helicopter and it drops us off at the art gallery, is that not the most cinematic journey to an art gallery that one could conceive of?
It's true. It's true. Phoenix
That's a
on point.
very good point. You have intrigued Jason with this argument. So, yeah, give me your rolls to see how well this extraction goes and how well you convince Jason to go along with it.
Yes. 2 and 1.
10 and 1. So
It's
So-
okay. He still gets on it. He still gets on
Okay.
it.
Yeah, he gets on the the helicopter shows up and is there. And luckily, people are filming the helicopter that just showed up and is like doing weird maneuvers, and they're no longer filming Jason. So you have avoided any kind of PR disaster so far. But Jason is really affronted that this helicopter has taken center stage, that it is upstaging him, that it seems to be more popular than him. And how is that even forkin' possible? So Jason starts throwing a tantrum that is most likely going to get him arrested if y'all can't reel him in and hopefully get him on that helicopter.
Who is Jason Statham dating right now?
Oh, that's a really good question. The tabloids aren't really sure. There's several
Wait.
people that it could be.
I have a better idea. he's a mama's boy, right? Heller Mirren is on the helicopter waiting to see her son.
So this is
Mother's Day just passed, and he forgot to call her.
Ooh.
So is this what you're telling him? Is, by the way.
Yes.
So
And also,
that's McFace's plan. Phoenix.
well, I mean, I'm going to use my law lore to explain an extreme case, not a boring one, of someone being arrested for doing a barrel roll.
Interesting.
I believe it was Mr. Fox.
The fantastic Mr. Fox. Or Jamie Fox.
Fox.
It's unclear.
McCloud. Fox McCloud.
I mean, it's just the state of California versus Fox.
Yeah, even though it's his first name.
Yeah.
It's
But everyone
weird.
knows who Fox is when you say that. I just had to clarify because of this ongoing war with the action stars.
It's fine. I mean, Fox McCloud is an action star, so, I mean, you're not wrong.
Excellent. So give me rolls to see if your various pitches light the fire under Jason Statham, because you can hear those sirens
Oh
coming
no!
close.
I have matching fours.
Matching fours, which means you succeed and something weird happens.
Okay, I rolled an 8, but that, yeah.
Unless your hands or weapon can be justified for this story that you're spinning. Jason just deadpan looks at you and is like, of course I called my mother for Mother's Day. I'm still alive. The dame does not suffer fools gladly, even in her son. And he's so affronted that he turns his back to you and fully faces Phoenix and looks at Phoenix like, well, how are you going to fix this? And Phoenix, you make your pitch.
I'm upset.
So, Jason, have you heard the tale of California versus Fox? That Fox did a barrel roll into traffic. And they put him away for 15 long years in a barrel roll proof cell.
You didn't have him until barrel proof cell because he legitimately was sitting there thinking
About getting out of prison. Oh, I know.
well, that gives Fox legitimacy. Like, he did time, he knows guys, he's tough. Maybe I should do prison time. And then you said that he couldn't do barrel rolls. And like, we're not doing this. Let's forkin' go. So, he scrambles first up the ladder and gets into the plane. And by the time y'all scale up in front of him, you get in, you settle into your seats, you look up, and there are two pilots looking at you. And you go, what?
What?
And when you lean over and you look in the pilot seat, Jason Statham, the unexpected thing he did, because of your 2 fours, is he took over the piloting of the helicopter. Whether or not,
Helicopters are already super dangerous. Like, come on, Jason Statham, can you not?
the answer to that is no, Jason Statham absolutely will.
I'm going to hand my McFriend over here the second parachute, and we're gonna sit back calmly and hold on, please.
I would 1000% believe that Jason Statham had a pilot's license. So,
I do too, actually.
I'm with Phoenix here. I think that I'm just gonna make some drinks.
I'm a bit worried that he's not as concerned with complete stability in the way that our professional pilots might have been, but I think that we will get there alive.
I agree.
Don't think it will be fun.
Maybe not in one piece. But I definitely think that we will definitely get there.
I mean, I might get a little plane sick. We'll see.
I brought some Dramamine. It's cool.
Oh. But I don't want to get tired.
There's non-drowsy Dramamine.
Ooh.
But do you have
Mostly.
non-drowsy Dramamine, or do you only have the drowsy kind?
I have non-drowsy Dramamine, which I always keep because my best friend Riot gets car sick.
Ooh. Can I have some, please?
Yes, you may. But yes, I will make everyone drinks and just assure the pilots that he knows what he's doing.
The pilots accept these drinks, looking a little bit stunned because the witnessing of your version of flirting, which involves Dramamine. And they're just kind of sitting there like, Jason Statham kicked us off of our job.
I mean, it's better than me screaming at a girl that I wanted to take her out on a date and then her never responding to me.
I think I can see why one had more success than the other. Just to be perfectly clear. But the pilots are just sitting there just like, we're getting paid a shit ton of money for this, and you know what, if we die, cheers. And they cheers with the Phoenix drinks. And Jason, you are correct. He is actually a trained pilot, except Jason flies the helicopter as if he's driving a car.
Oh, you mean driving a car in the movies?
No, I mean literally as if the helicopter is a car by flying too low, too close to traffic, obeying stoplights and things.
Wow. I
and
have
you're-
no sympathy for people who drive cars in Los Angeles. So.
Totally fair. Super fair. He manages to, he's a good pilot because he manages to avoid any power lines or anything like that. But it is definitely not an unharrowing experience as much as you trust his ability to survive this. And before you know it, he's setting y'all down in the parking lot of this art gallery that as you're looking at it, you're like, this is an art gallery? It looks like it might be like a one room in the front that has a couple of pictures on it, but it looks to be like very, very small. So Jason lands the plane, doesn't bother to like do anything to actually make sure that it's safely landed other than it's on the ground. He hops out. The pilot's like, oh fuck, it just like drops his drink and scrambles to do all of the we just landed stuff, and Jason is beelining it for that gallery. What do y'all do?
Ditch the helicopter and follow Jason to
Yeah.
his bodyguard.
Probably a good idea.
There's only one way to do it.
So y'all are after Jason, and you actually catch up with him because he's stopped at the front door and he's looking at it as if he cannot believe that it has not opened.
Well, since I'm supposed to be walking in front of Jason anyway, because I'm his security, I will go first.
So you open the door and usher him in.
Mm-hmm. Do I have to roll for that?
No, that's just
Okay.
that's not the outcome of that is not in question. Phoenix, are you following? Where is your position in the order? of
Holding
these?
hands
Well,
with me.
I am suspicious. So I'm going to take a look around with my eye for detail
Okay,
and just try to figure out if I see anything.
cool. Give me a roll. Tell me.
A 5 and a 3.
So your eye for detail is a 6. So yes,
Yeah.
you succeed. You follow Jason into this weird small gallery where he kind of is standing in the middle of it, glancing around, just like not really looking at the art. But when you look at the art, some of it's very impressionistic. Seems like the further back you go, the more grounded in reality the art gets, the less interpretive and expressionistic. And as you kind of walk through, you're like, I think all of these paintings may be of Tom Cruise. This doesn't seem like good necessarily for Jason, because as you know, there can be only one. All of the action stars have been taking each other out one by one.
I don't want to have to defend Tom Cruise.
And as you look around, you realize that Jason is staring right at the back door, or at the back of the art gallery, and all of a sudden the door opens, and a stunningly beautiful woman walks in. She has very rich brown skin. She's wearing this beautiful golden white turban on her head, and she's wearing this beautiful flowing diaphanous caftan. And she...
These are all words that I know.
Hey, I'm glad. And she looks at Jason, and then she looks at the two of you, and her eyes flick back to Jason, and she goes, Jason, you actually came. I thought you might. And all of a sudden you hear sirens in the background swarming this area, and there are cop cars everywhere. They block in the helicopter. They fill the whole of the parking lot. And when she turns, you see one dangling earring on the left side, and it is a stylized W and an S. And you realize that this is an agent of the Wesley Sniper. And you hear over the from a police car on a being projected, Jason Statham, come out with your hands up. If you tell us where he is, nothing bad will happen. Jason Statham might get arrested. What do y'all do?
Fuck. Extraction, 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 extraction.
That makes sense for McFace. Phoenix, what's your plan?
Well, I'm going to try to distract this agent of Wesley Snipes by giving a long missive about the perils of breaking tax law.
Oh. I mean, this gallery seems like it's very well primed to launder some money through.
I know.
So,
How many Tom Cruise paintings are you buying?
It's a really good question. I only have the one.
Only if it's from Edge of Tomorrow or Rock of Ages.
Here's the thing. I'm like going for the impressionistic ones. I'm there. I'm here for it. Realism though? I don't know if that's
only
my
if
jam.
it's Rock of Ages. Because
To
he
be
is
fair.
Stacey Dax.
You do think that the realism ones maybe have increased a certain length of a body. just to throw that out here.
So just a tiny little side story. One of my few regrets in life is I went to an Edge of Tomorrow premiere for Nerdist, and Tom Cruise showed up, and I was actually sitting close to the front because people had filled in all the seats, and I was in the wrong line. And when by the time I got into the right line, I was towards the end, and so I got seated towards the front. I super regret when he walked out to not scream, "Oh my God, it's Stacey Dax!" If you haven't seen Rock of Ages with Tom Cruise and Alec Baldwin and all those lovely people, you absolutely should, because it's amazing.
I'm gonna officially right here challenge you that if that ever happens again, please
Yes.
make it happen.
Especially if you're with me, because I feel like I'm up to more mischief when you and I were together.
I am the ultimate enabler / planner / no we're doing this thing, so fair enough. All right,
You're also welcome to join if you want to join in our mischief.
You have to come visit us in LA though. She's in New York.
I miss New York so much. That explains the small apartment.
Yeah. It is a New York-sized apartment, and the sun setting.
I lived in New York for 6 years, so big fan.
I like visiting New York. It's great. But I also like leaving New York, so...
You know, I feel the same way about LA.
See, that's how I feel about LA. I'm like, man, I would just love to be able to, being an actor.
Having lived in the Bay, I really enjoyed visiting LA.
That's fair, too.
didn't much care for the Bay. I lived there for a month when I was shooting a movie, and I didn't know that it was not warm in July.
Oh, no, it's not.
Ooh, no.
Packed only summer clothes.
Oh, where were you?
Yeah, there were definitely things I really hated about income disparity, number one.
For fucking sure. Anyways.
But, I like LA weather because I am allergic to cold weather, like actually allergic to cold weather. So LA's cool for that, I guess.
I revel in cold weather and I live in LA.
I haven't seen snow in like 10 years, so literally when I was leaving New York, it snowed the day after I left, and I was like, see ya.
I was like, I haven't seen snow in like maybe 2 months.
There's no quotes around amazing. I assume this is about Rock of Ages. Rock of Ages is actually amazing. It is amazing.
Not wrong. Anyways, give me your rolls to see how well you extract and how well you. I assume you're spin doctoring, Phoenix.
I can
Or
spin
law
doctor.
loring, since you're specifically.
I was thinking law loring, but it doesn't matter because I failed no matter what.
Oh no! What'd you roll?
No, I got an 11.
Okay, not a 12 though. Let's go extraction.
5 and 6.
So what happened was Phoenix turns to the suspected agent of the Wesley Sniper and starts just talking at her, and she's completely unimpressed with you, but it does in fact serve as a distraction. You haven't convinced her or anything, but it does allow McFace to escape with Jason Statham out the back. However, Phoenix, this leaves you in a quandary because the police are about to bust through the door and you're still there. So there's a possibility that you could get hurt.
But my boyfriend.
But your boyfriend's?
But my boyfriend.
Which boyfriend?
Isn't Phoenix my boyfriend?
Have you and Phoenix discussed that at all?
In my pea-brained muscle head, we're together.
Y'all bonded seriously?
I'm not aware of this, but I'm not opposed.
Excellent. I love everything about it. So McFace, like, you get basically as far as the alleyway, like you go down the alleyway and you look back and you're like, Phoenix. And Jason's kind of like, who again? Phoenix, I'm gonna need you to give a roll as the police come in and are ready to arrest Jason for this kidnapping. This is a very stressful situation, and there's the possibility you could get hurt. So I'm gonna need you to roll to avoid, basically, to this situation, to take control.
I got a 6.
Or escape. What were you rolling?
Oh, that's fair. Great question.
That's why I'm the Statham Master. I ask the good questions.
Well, I could roll again in a second. But the police are coming in, and what am I going to do?
Yep.
I am going to,
Can I help?
walk
Can I help
up.
give ideas?
Well,
Okay,
I wanna-
you can
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
collaborate.
please.
Okay, I think you should say to the police that you're Statham's lawyer, and if they let you go, you can convince Statham to turn himself in.
Oh,
I think you can use Spin Doctor to do that.
I think so too. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
So
I
Spin
was just
Doctor.
going to offer them autographs, but yours is better.
I believe in you, baby.
You've already got that like couples psychicness going on.
Oh,
You're like
so
exchanging
here's the thing.
messages.
Here's the thing. I just got a 12.
No!
Oh no. Well, please.
Oh my god, my cat just figured out how to open the cabinet. Hold on. Like a real life phone.
So it was a failure in the game, a failure in real life. We're all screwed.
Don't do that.
Or I'll bring in Laboon for the One Piece fans. They can hang out with Laboon.
So Phoenix, you are now at stability 2 and
Okay.
adrenaline 1, so you have to add 1 to all of your rolls.
Okay.
Is that even possible?
We'll see if you get a familiar at some point. So yeah, the police are not impressed with this. They're not impressed with what you've done. They decide to arrest you. And so they handcuff you very ungently. They don't like the kind of lawyer you are, the kind of work you do. And McFace
my
and
boyfriend.
Jason, you move around this sort of art gallery, and you see your boy getting arrested and being...
This is an injustice.
Yep, protesting the whole way. What are y'all gonna do? Because Jason looks at it and goes, we can't just let Prius get arrested. Let's go. And Jason,
Phoenix.
I would like
Phoenix.
to punch all of the officers straight in the face.
Jason
So-
is so fucking down with this plan. Let's go. Let's go
Okay.
now. And Jason takes off. He is ready to punch everybody. So give me a punch and
Alright.
everybody roll.
I rolled
roll?
a 4 and a 6.
Do you want me to roll too?
Nope, you are arrested right now and
I
completely
know.
helpless in this situation. You just only get to watch. As all of a sudden you hear, and Jason Statham comes out of nowhere and tackles the policeman who is on your right. And
Don't forget me. Don't
McFace, what do
forget
you
me.
do?
Don't forget me.
No, but you get to tell me what you do. That's Jason. Jason went for the full-on tackle of the person escorting. What are you doing? Who are you taking
I'm
out?
just punching anybody still standing.
So you're just a whirlwind of fists.
Yes, I am a Sharknado, but a Fistnado.
So here's what I want. Because you have hands or weapons and also weapons,
Right.
the first roll, you have the +1 penalty. The second one, because you're building, you do not. So let me know how those rolls go.
Okay. So
You basically get to make 2 attacks. The second one is not at the disadvantage.
a 4.
Okay, you succeed on the first one.
So am I rolling another D12?
Yep.
Okay.
But roll that D6 to make sure you didn't get a D4.
2.
So you succeed for both of them.
3.
Mm-hmm.
4.
And your dice don't match. So, yeah, you just go tearing through like a whirlwind. Your fists are flying. They are everywhere. They are truly made of weapons. And you are exhilarated like you never have been before. Because, like, you just get to let loose. And you get to let loose with Jason Statham.
Yes, this is a dream. This is an absolute dream.
And that's cool. And by the time you're both done, Phoenix, you're standing in the middle of like 20 cops that have been taken out by Jason Statham and McFace, just unceremoniously. And the cops are very reluctant to shoot Jason Statham because he's Jason Statham. And so you're just left. There's a helicopter that's been turned off sitting there. They're all down, and when you look up, you match eyes with the art gallery proprietor, and she's glaring, and you see that she is on the phone to somebody. What do you do?
I'm gonna tell the cops why it's super illegal for me to be in handcuffs right now, because I really need my cell phone and any other abilities other than my lawyering abilities to do anything.
You are talking to you just do that because you are talking to a bunch of people who are moaning and groaning on the floor.
Well, I think I'm still gonna do that.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm still gonna do that, honestly. I really like big speeches.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And so you can make a roll to see to rifle through the cops.
Yeah.
Like, and you are still. By the way,
Shit!
nobody has unhandcuffed you, so you are rifling
Yeah,
through with
I got a
handcuffed
1.
hands.
I got a 1.
You find all your shit, and you find the phone on one of the cops. He has 2 phones, and you found this one hidden in like a secret pocket.
In his butt.
Definitely not. Definitely not there. We did not have enough wherewithal to strip search every single one of the cops that are passed out. No, you find it in a secret pocket, and when you use his fingers to unlock the phone, there's one contact, there's one app, there's just one. The only thing you can do on this phone is text through an app another person, and when you open and you look at the texts, you see that they are from the Wesley Sniper to this cop planning. And
They are dirty cops.
Yep, you have evidence that they are dirty cops, that this kidnapping charge was instructed and planted by the Wesley Sniper.
Not only am I taking the phone, but I am taking a picture of the phone with my phone and uploading it to Instagram right now.
Yep. And you do that and you show Jason, and Jason's like, we gotta figure this out. This Wesley guy, like, I thought we were cool, but in the end there can be only one. And you head home, having successfully visited an art gallery, even though it went very wonky. Okay. And that is the end of our first scene.
We did it. We
Huzzah.
did it. We did it. We did it.
So, now what's going to happen is we're going to reset these trackers.
Can I grab more wine?
Absolutely. Go grab more beverages. We can take a short break if you'll need to while I reset things.
Okay. Hey, Gritty, are you going to model on camera while I'm gone?
Bring out the kitties. Mine are not around, sadly.
Nope, he's following me.
Oh, I hear him. I hear his cute little squeak.
I put food in your bowl when I came home, dude.
I also love Jesse's setup.
What are you looking
Quickly
for?
switch in to look at the... Amazing is not even listed on Geneva War Crimes ever. Yeah, I'm definitely not doing a Cockney accent here. It's terrible.
So hard to be gritty. So hard to be gritty.
It's very hard to be a cat.
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get more booze.
All day, like a bad mom.
Hi, George.
Note that I say all this mocking him for how hard it is to be a cat, and I still gave him an extra treat. So,
All right.
Everybody wants to be a cat.
Are we ready for scene 2?
Cat who knows where it's at.
Stacy, do you have a D20?
yeah,
Will
I
you
have
roll-
a dice generator right now.
So you have all of them. Can you roll a D20
Yeah.
for me?
12.
12. For this scene, everybody is going to an eel sanctuary.
Okay.
Cool.
Eels are cool. We don't actually know how they reproduce. Cool eel fact.
Not interested.
no,
Cool
we
eel
just-
fact. Don't Google that.
We just literally don't know how they reproduce because they go off, they have their babies, and then the babies show up, and we have not been able to figure out exactly how that whole process goes down.
This reminds me of the rocks in Death Valley that were moving. That they only
Mhm.
recently figured out why they were moving.
Yep. So players, given
I'm
that
gonna
we are
be
going to an
thinking-
eel sanctuary, death, sadness, boredom, or arrested?
Death.
Death.
Yeah. If you weren't gonna pick it, I was, so.
Ha ha! I don't care about either of your opinions.
Um,
Gritty, what the? So
Hmm?
I have these cat butt magnets on my fridge, and Gritty has decided his greatest pleasure in life is to jump and remove them from the fridge and then have a cat butt in his mouth.
I have some of those cat butt magnets too, where the tail is like the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Gritty clearly is the only cat butt of the house.
It's true.
I
Is
think
Gritty named after the Gritty?
Oh, I have pictures of mini Gritty and big Gritty together.
What?
Yeah, when the weekend he was found, his little baby kitten, and we met Gritty together.
That's
how he got his
that's
name.
so cool.
Also, Gritty is like the millennial meme we always needed.
Oh yeah, I mean, also he's a chaotic Philly street cat, so he.
For sure. Oh, Gritty. I think
He was the best part of the last election, so, you know.
Oh. I mean, he's an anti-fascist icon.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. And all of the memes about him being like, fuck around and find out, like, it's just so good.
Do we think?
Sorry, I didn't know. We're probably not supposed to curse. Sorry.
Oh, I don't
No,
care.
you can.
For sure.
We actually have an age warning on the channel for everything we do.
Okay, good, because I don't know how to keep my mouth in check.
Well, we have dope shows that are like about sex work with sex workers and former sex workers.
Oh, that's
and,
awesome.
Yeah, our lineup. Y'all should all anybody who's tuning in should check it out because it's really interesting and cool.
Yeah, I do panels at Anime Expo, and the first year that I actually did panels at Anime Expo, they make you sign a waiver saying that you won't curse. And I was signing the waiver in a t-shirt that said cold ass honky. Thank you.
I love everything about it.
Yeah, it was actually really funny because it was my first time because Anime Expo is the largest anime convention by like far.
By a lot. By a factor of a lot.
It was my first time doing a panel, which was my most famous panel, which is how to wear skimpy costumes while still being modest. And I thought there was no one because it was getting close to the time and there was literally nobody in the room. And I was like, well, this sucks. And I was like, so what happens if nobody shows up? And they're like, oh, your line is wrapped around the building. And I was like, what?
They just hadn't let people in?
Yeah, they hadn't let people in yet.
Oh, that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, so this whole time I'm just like, well, you know, whatever. I'm a loser. No big deal.
Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me.
No big deal.
I mean, how could they hate you? You have such awesome hair. I also love that y'all managed to coordinate hair despite just having met each other. Your love was clearly meant to be.
We just linked psychically before we even knew each other.
Your love,
because we're dating now.
absolutely meant to be.
Psychically.
So our
It was meant to be. It's a sign.
Our two tracks that we will be tracking are the two we didn't do last time, just for fun. Death and Sadness.
Oh no.
So beware of the eel sanctuary making Jason sad. And beware of the eels, or who knows.
I am going to be singing Electric Feel under my breath.
That's fair.
Yeah, and there's a secret about eels, but I'm going to keep it a secret until it's absolutely necessary.
That is a good plan. Yeah, so I just rolled for the Wesley Sniper, and I can't wait. So, y'all are, it's, you know, a day after your grand art gallery adventure. How does the morning, and I use morning as a loose term because we don't like single digits in this house when it comes to waking up. We just like single digits and going to bed.
No, we like single digits waking up if it's past noon.
You might. That's fair. And you might. Jason has a very strict must get up between 10 and noon regimen that he follows on vacation. If he wakes up afternoon, he's wasted the day. If he wakes up before 10, he has not maximized his rest.
Well, it's a good thing my boyfriend lives in this house now because I am very antsy about waking up so late because I have important lawyering things to do.
Yeah, no, you're the lawyer
I have been
who's up
I
at
have
like
been
4:30.
working and drinking coffee
Yep.
at the table since like probably 6 a.m.
Yeah, you wake up at 4:30 to do all
Yeah.
this stuff for yourself, and then you're at work by 6 a.m. for sure.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go bench press. You don't get these.
Absolutely, those pointy guns.
I gave him pointers, so.
Oh no, y'all have totally in like the day and a half maybe that you've known each other / been dating. You've definitely got gym pointers. You've definitely.
I mean, we
solidified.
already have matching hair. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're.
Destiny.
I'm a step away from having moved in.
I mean, do you even have houses outside of Jason Statham right now? Who knows?
No.
No, I mean, I'm gonna tell you I do.
In the same room.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that I have another house because, as a point of pride, I've never U-hauled. But
You don't U-Haul, the other people U-Haul.
I just have a toothbrush and like 2-3 drawers.
But I'd rather
Easy
haul
thing.
you than you haul. You know what I mean?
And this might be why y'all ultimately work. So, McFace, where are you? Phoenix is sitting doing work at the dining room table.
I'm in the gym. Duh.
Of course you're in the gym.
Even a question.
And the gym actually is the deck outside because this vacation house, doesn't have a set gym, but Jason, of course, had all of his
Definitely
exercise
pumping.
equipment sent, and it's all so that you can see Phoenix, and Phoenix has a fan-fucking-tastic view of you working out in your sweaty workout clothes.
I might be showing off just for Phoenix.
When all of a sudden you hear the sound of an air raid siren going off from the front driveway, where it's like one of those big round driveways where you drive the car in and then you just drive the car right back up in a circle.
Oh, yeah.
And you hear coming from outside, and it is just a sustained, obnoxious air horn sound. What do?
I immediately run outside to see the threat that is against my client.
Good call. Phoenix? Are you following your boyfriend? What are you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna follow my boyfriend. I trust him right now.
I mean, he is.
I want to support him.
He is the person who should take care of the situation.
Yeah.
theoretically, given his job description. And so McFace sprints out first, followed directly by Phoenix, and you stop and you stare and you're like, what? Because Jason is standing at the wheel of a convertible boat car.
Oh, like one of the duck.
Oh, like a duck car.
A duck car, a car that is also a boat.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
If any of you have been to Savannah, Georgia, they do tours in these car boats.
I've been on one of those tours.
They do it in New York.
In Boston.
Do they do it in
Oh,
Boston?
yeah, it's Boston. It's Boston that does
The Boston Duck Tour.
The Boston
Is that what it's
Duck
called?
Tour. Hey, what do
Make
you
way for ducklings.
What do you call those tan pants that guys wear? The tan dress pants. What do you call-
Anti-sex?
No. What do you call the tan pants that guys wear?
The white boy special.
Slap.
Say khakis.
Khakis.
Tacky.
No, not the khakis.
That was a very specific joke for people who aren't as sarcastic as we are.
I know a bunch of Boston jokes because one of my roommates is from Boston, so I like to make them a lot.
Well, if you want McFace to just throw in a Boston joke every time he speaks, I'm here for it. I love this character development for you.
The Hopper.
The Hopper.
The happen?
But Jason is standing at this boat and he says, "Get in, bitches. We're going to a sanctuary." And he fires that shit up without waiting for you to get in. So you are now going to have to hop in the boat as it's moving. So please give me a roll to get in this boat car as it's moving.
Okay. All right. You got this?
Ooh.
I grab my ace attorney here, roll on my back, kick him onto the boat, and then as I'm continuing the backflip, I jump and land in the boat car.
Okay, we're gonna start with Phoenix. Are you going with this? Are you rolling with it? Or
Oh yeah.
okay, you're like in full like my boyfriend's got muscles mode. So
I know my strengths, and I have pride. But
that's fair.
He's gonna make me look good.
See, this is why I think y'all go the distance. Your relationship is very healthy.
All right, ready?
Go for it.
5.
5. What are you
6.
using?
The D12.
Just the D12.
5 with the D12, 6 with the D6.
So, McFace, well, let's see. McFace fails at this attempt.
What?
And you know what? I'm afraid that since we reset our stability and adrenaline, because you failed at this, you essentially try and pick up Phoenix, and you kind of misjudge the stride to the pickup, and you kind of go down in a heap. And you pop up, and you're like, "I'm good. I'm fine. It's nothing to worry about." And so now you have stability 2 and adrenaline 1.
God damn it.
And you're
Should've
kind of
lied.
embarrassed. Because you just ate it in front of the love of your life. Phoenix, how you feeling, bro? Your boyfriend kind of just tried to manhandle you, but it didn't really go the way that they planned it. And also, you were just kind of like, what? They're laying at your feet. And you're just like...
It happens to the best of us.
It's very forgiving of you. Man, Phoenix
I'm
really
using
loves
my.
you.
I'm offering my hand.
Oh, you help McFace up. That's so sweet.
That's the greatest.
So here's a question. Do you do that help up where you're like, here, I'm going to help you up, and then you like pull them into your body? Or do you just legitimately help McFace up because he's real embarrassed?
I think I'm just gonna legitimately help him up because I also am kind of like, I'm annoyed, but I love you.
Yeah. I mean, this is...
Fair. It's fair.
This
It's
cut
fair.
through that honeymoon period a little bit. And you're definitely into the like, oh, I'm gonna have to figure out if I like this person, or if like we'll fuck around and we'll find out in like 3 months. So that's where y'all are. So Phoenix, how do you try and get into this moving boat car, which it does not have quick pickup, so it does have to build up into speed.
Okay. Well, you know, I can only rely on the strength of my legs
Yep,
and my ability to run.
it's true.
And I'm going to grab my boyfriend's hand and we are going to run and
Oh.
then try to jump.
Run like the wind, Phoenix.
Run like the
the wind. Give me a roll.
It is a 6. Oh, wait, no. Wait, it's a 3.
Your 12.
Why
is
did
a
they
three?
go? They flipped in order. Okay, it's a 3 and a 6.
Great. McFace, your loving boyfriend, helps you up without like making fun of you or anything. Just straight helps you up, and then it's like looks deep into your eyes. What do you say to McFace, Phoenix, when you invite him to run with you?
We need to go. We need to go now.
And then Phoenix turns and runs, and you basically do the run version of those stupid Instagram pictures where people like take pictures of them holding their significant other's hand
Oh,
as if they're being led. So that's the shot we have.
A reference I actually understand.
Hey, that's the shot we have as
Yeah,
Phoenix.
if you ever mention TikTok, it's just like.
That's fair. I spend entirely too much time on TikTok.
Well, one
Lord.
of my roommates is only 30, and the other one is a little bit older, but they're both really into TikTok, and that's all they do is watch TikTok videos, and I'm just like.
My favorite show. So yeah, y'all successfully with Phoenix's help, you end up you kind of flop over. Like what actually happens is Phoenix, you lead to the run up, and then you're like, how do I get up onto this very tall boat car, because like the wheels are huge and it's so up. And then McFace kind of redeems himself a little bit because he gives you a boost, and because you were so just not terrible about the fact that McFace ate pavement in front of you on the second day, technically still the first full day that you have been significant others. It kind of balances out a little bit of the collective embarrassment of McFace's extreme failure.
Hopefully,
not extreme
Jason
failure. You did roll
Statham
one.
just isn't paying attention.
Yes. You didn't roll a 12, so we're good. And y'all are kind of, you're in the middle of the boat looking at each other, laying on your sides. And then all of a sudden you're thrown to the right, and then you're thrown to the left, and then you're just jostled around because you realize that Jason Statham has gotten so bored in the driving of this thing that he is, weaving in and out of traffic with his giant goddamn boat car. And he's doing shit like running red lights and speeding through, and really he's courting death here. It is not good. How are y'all gonna stop him from driving like an absolute maniac?
How about we distract him by taking him to a racetrack first before we end up at the eel exhibit?
Yeah.
So you want to get that racing impulse out of
And
him.
I'm gonna spin a tale about how fun it is to go to a racetrack.
Yeah.
And heavily encourage him that, you know, we can get our energy out. We can go race. There will be other amphibious vehicles to race. And we can take the shortcut through the Pacific Ocean to get to the eels.
That is a really good point. So McFace,
Yes.
give me a roll to see how well you build the foundation of this argument.
4
Ooh, you nailed it. What's your D6?
and 3.
All right. So, McFace, y'all kind of move up to the front where Jason is driving, and McFace pitches out this idea, and you can tell that Jason's like, ooh, interesting. Go on. And Phoenix, you take up
Okay.
the convincing.
Come on, baby.
Got a 3 and a 6.
Excellent. Y'all managed to do it. And Jason's like, great idea. And y'all are heading into LA from Malibu down the PCH, and he just takes a hard right and sends you both like, oh no! And he cuts through, he barrels over the other lane of the PCH, over the side, the frontage road, through a couple of yards, down an embankment, over the beach, and splashes into the ocean, and y'all are on a boat. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. And he
I'm on a boat, motherfucker,
guns
don't
it.
you ever forget.
He guns it, and he's headed exactly where Phoenix wanted him to.
I'm on a boat and
And
it's
it's
going fast and I got another good thing, push me in the Afghan. Sorry.
And y'all are just cruising, and you're cruising in, and then you realize as you're going, you get kind of further and further away. You go past LA, you go way up towards like past Long Beach, and you see the eel sanctuary on the horizon because it's this like big black dome. It's like half of a Death Star sitting there, and then the eel sanctuary is built into. They actually built, carved out the beach and all of the land that led into the ocean, so that the ocean actually goes into that dome a little well, and all of the eel pins kind of spread out around it. It's almost like a tributary. And there is a little dock where Jason Statham docks the boat, and he hops out, and he's like, all right, eels, allons-y. And he starts marching up towards the little Death Star area.
I just thought everyone should know that I'm in a Lonely Island music video copying a feel on Andy Samberg.
I love everything about that. Was it everything you dreamed and hoped it would be?
Yes, and the funny part is that I asked permission. So like, there's 4 of us, right? And then it was for the Bash Brothers thing they did for Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he came up, I'm like, "Is it okay if we touch you?" And he just like looks at all 4 of us and was just like, "Yeah, I think that's okay."
I love the absolute certainty with which he said that.
Oh yeah. And you know, me, I'm just trying to be okay about it,
Yeah.
just making sure that everybody has permission to touch everyone and everything's all right and everything's okay. And he's just like, "Nah, please touch me, ladies."
For curious people out there, I'm actually in training to be an intimacy coordinator, so I would be the person on set to actually deal with all of that stuff.
That is so perfect for you.
Right? It's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it a lot. And I'm really interested to see what this career path takes me. Anyways,
Oh, I'm so excited. You have to keep me updated.
I will. It's been really interesting. So Jason Statham is walking towards the entry of this eel sanctuary, and all of a sudden you hear a kind of a little bit of a distant and you look over and you're like, what the hell was that? And you look around and give me a d12 roll just to see what you roll.
Me?
Both of you.
I got a 3, and in fact, because it's on the auto roller, I have a matching D6 that also is a 3.
Excellent. I love it.
I have a 4 and a 3.
So you both kind of look at each other, and then you start looking around, and you both see over this gently rolling hill, this giant bear comes galumphing at you. And you're like,
Play
what?
dead and pee myself.
And they're headed clearly straight for Jason, who's like a few feet ahead of you.
Tell Jason to play dead and pee himself.
Is that the advice that you yell out to him?
Yes.
Okay. McFace is gonna yell out, play dead and pee yourself as advice for Jason. Phoenix, what's your game plan?
I'm gonna look at McFace, look at Jason, and look at McFace, and look at Jason, and yell, do a barrel roll, and attempt to do a barrel roll and protect Jason.
I love a good callback. So
good. It's so
the plan currently for Jason is to do a barrel roll into a play dead and pee yourself. So, Phoenix, I'm gonna need you to roll first to see how the first part of this plan goes.
Not well, it's a 9.
So, the barrel roll goes very poorly, and I'm gonna say that Jason has to roll on the death meter. So, Jason's gonna roll a d3. It's a 3. So Jason is injured and closer to death, like halfway closer to death. Because his barrel roll just really did not work out for him.
Man.
And man, all right, McFace, how does the playing dead and peeing yourself go?
Oh no, it's a 10!
I'm glad it wasn't a 12. So, Jason, after the barrel roll leaves him so injured, he hears, play dead and pee yourself, so he tries. He rolls a 2. So, he's so close to death, y'all. He's so close to death.
Yeah, maybe he should just work on his barrel rolling.
I mean, clearly the barrel roll is something that definitely needs to happen, but the unexpected thing that happens, because Phoenix rolled 2 4s, is as he's laying there, his pants have turned a darker shade of blue than when we started this scene. And he's kind of laying there like, I may have, like, slightly scrambled my brains during that barrel roll. As this bear is bearing down on him, haha. And if you look behind, you see a couple more, like, this is like wholesale grizzly bear, like a whole fucking grizzly bear. There seem to be some brown and black bears a little bit smaller, following in the distance.
That's how brown and black bears work, but I'll accept it.
Huh?
I don't think that's how brown and black bears work, but I'll accept it.
In no way is any of this natural. This is not like a random bear down south from LA past Long Beach. No. So this grizzly bear is coming barreling down at Jason Statham, and you think he's like about to just get mauled by a grizzly bear, when all of a sudden, bursting forth from the eel sanctuary are 3 people who are dressed in these white robes with this kind of like gray and yellow modeling on them that very much look like somebody did a tie-dye but made it eel spots. And they come rushing out, and one of them throws something at the bear, and you realize they just like threw an eel at the bear, and the eel hits the bear in the neck, wraps around it, and then electrifies it. So the bear goes stiff and then topples over. And that stops the bear coming forward. And the 3 people look at you and they go, bring the Statham into the sanctuary. And the 2 of them go to meet the matching, like, flood of bears that seem to be coming over these rolling hills. And the one who threw their eel at the grizzly bear starts trying to put hook under Jason's armpits and drag him into the sanctuary. Who helps?
What's up, baby?
What do y'all do?
I mean, at this point, we gotta trust these strangers to know what they're doing.
Yeah, you could try and retreat to the boat, but the one eel dude is dragging Jason, who's in front of you, into the sanctuary. Do you help? Do you go with him? Do you try and wrest Jason away? Hello, Lucy. You're not in the donut anymore.
She's not in the donut.
Lucy got fixed not too long ago, so she was in a donut.
So I think that we should follow these weird eel slinging people.
So you're gonna follow the eel slingers in.
Yes.
Phoenix, what are you gonna do? If you're speaking, I can't hear you.
No. Sorry, there was a fire truck going down, so I muted my microphone.
I couldn't tell. Fair enough. Following the eel slingers does not require.
Sorry, New York things.
Yes, it happens for sure. We get the helicopter, the ghetto copters, as we call them.
Oh yeah. Anytime you think you hear gunshots, you just like wait for the helicopter noises, and that lets you know.
And sometimes the helicopters just circle around for no reason whatsoever, and you're like, hey.
Yeah, it's super fucking annoying.
It's been 3 hours and it's midnight now. Stop.
That's okay. We've been getting people shooting off the like professional grade fireworks at like super late at night and super early in the morning. That's great when you have a roommate who has PTSD from being in the military.
Yeah, in LA we do call them ghetto birds because they only really fly around low income areas. They do not fly around the places like Beverly Hills and Bel Air ever.
I lived in North Hollywood. It's true.
Yeah. Anyways, Phoenix, what is your plan?
What is my plan?
Yes.
My plan is to follow them and trust that those people are good people.
Yes, the priests they saved Jason from death by bear. They're now trying to drag Jason into the sanctuary, the eel sanctuary. They are dressed like weirdo cult members a little bit.
I am suspicious.
Fair.
And I would like to use my observational powers.
Okay.
To see if there are any identifying markings. Because I do like watching cult documentaries in my free time, and it is highly possible that I know which this cult is.
For sure. Cool. Give me the eye for detail 6 roll.
Oh, I got a 3. Second dice is a 4.
Okay. So you look around with your eye for detail, and you see that on the bear's ear, there is a little tag, and it's the exact same symbol, the stylized W and S, that the gallery owner had as dangling down off of her earring. But this is
the Wesley sniper trap.
For sure. You don't see anything of the like on the eel sanctuary guy. He is definitely giving you culty vibes, but you don't get... He's definitely not with Wesley. Well, definitely. That's a stretch. He is not like with Wesley in the way that everyone else has had some sort of emblem or something that suggested they were Wesley. But you do absolutely 100% know in the bottom of your soul that there is a weird, sketchy cult thing going on. They currently seem to be invested in saving Jason. Whether or not that continues, you cannot be certain. So that's the information that you get from your eye for detail. The one that is helping Jason, though, does have more gold woven into his little, like, cassock thing that he's wearing. So you can presume that that differentiates him from the others who went to fight the bears that are still headed towards you. What do you do with that information?
Run after Jason and yell, "It's a trap!"
McFace, are you actually helping drag Jason in, or are you just following? Because right now the priest is trying to do it by himself.
I'm just following, but now that they're dragging, I'm starting to get a little skeptical of what's going on here.
Because you hear your boyfriend yell, "It's a trap."
And I trust my boyfriend a lot. So I grab Jason's arm and try to start pulling him back.
Okay, give me a roll for that. I think this may be an extraction.
Oh, weird. It landed on a corner.
So just reroll or whatever.
Again. 12.
Oh no. I'm sorry. When you pull Jason's arm, you pull his injured arm, and Jason has tipped over and filled the death track. Jason Statham is close to death. We are now required to do whatever we can because Jason Statham is dying.
Well, as part of being a security guard, I learned CPR. So I do CPR on Jason Statham.
Give me a roll for CPR on Jason Statham. I don't know if you can justify using any of your skills.
10.
You try, and it doesn't work. Phoenix, can you save Jason Statham?
I don't know. I'm going to grab an electric eel and attempt to shock him.
May I suggest, instead of that, trying to spin Dr. him out of death?
Okay.
Spin Doctor this death situation into something that, like, does not kill Jason Statham. Because if you do that, you lose the game.
Fair. Okay. Jason, listen to me. You don't want to die.
Are you sure?
We cannot let Wesley Sniper win. If you die, you let him win. You lose, he wins. Is Jason Statham a loser? Are you a loser, Jason? Are you? Then you must survive. Otherwise, you are a loser if you die.
Give me that role to convince Jason Statham not to be a loser.
I got a 6.
Did it match your D6?
No. I guess that's 3.
Then you give this pitch to Jason, and you're like, and he opens his eyes and he looks at you. He goes, Jason Statham is not a loser. Jason Statham does what it takes to survive. If that's dancing naked in a music video or selling jewelry on the streets of London. I am Jason Statham. And I'm going to say that was, I'm going to knock off 1 from the death track. And he staggers to his feet. And he looks at the oncoming bears. And he rips his shirt off. So that you can see those bulging muscles. And he goes, Jason Statham is not a loser. And he turns around and he sprints.
Gritty, what the fuck are you doing?
For the boat. The boat car. And he gets in it and he fires it up. What do y'all do?
I slam 2 of those weird cult guys' heads in and then start running for the boat.
Excellent. Phoenix?
That's part of my fists or weapons.
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Phoenix?
I yell at them. You all suck and you broke the law anyway, and you should be going to jail for these reasons. And I am using my lawyer speak to make them feel ashamed of themselves.
You absolutely are. Your lawyer luring them into realizing how unsustainable their whole cult is.
Or at least deadly boredom.
Please. Make your rolls. Let me know how this
I
goes.
got 7. So it's a good thing.
Oh! 2! Double 2s!
Double 2s! And Phoenix?
I got a 7.
Excellent. Definitely passes for law lore. So, we'll start with McFace. McFace, there's a couple of more cult members that start spilling out of the doors, and it's very clear that they do not like the direction. Like, they almost had Jason Statham in their grasp, and he is now running away. There are these bears bearing down on them. And the 2 that get closest, you just kind of square up, and you're like, no. And as they run by, you just do this classic, like, boop, like coconuts together, and they fall. And do you leave them? Do you leave and that brings all the other cult members up short. They're just like, we did not sign up for brain damage. Not at least this kind of brain damage. Do you leave them? Is there any stinging comment or that you lead them on?
listen here, cult members. Don't mess with my boyfriend or my client. Yeah. And then run.
I'm gonna go, I object to your existence.
I hope you don't mean me.
No, them.
Okay, good.
No, because you went first and then Phoenix went. So you say that and you run by. And one of the cult members is like, which one is the boyfriend? Which prompts Phoenix to be like, I object to your existence. And Phoenix, you object so strenuously that the guy looks at you and goes, oh, and goes, poof, and no longer exists. So you both make it back onto the boat as Jason Statham pulls off, and he looks at you and goes, that's one of the best fights I've had in years. Bless up, and takes you home. And that's the end of scene 2. Everyone survived, barely. Jason tried to die and managed not to.
He tried to die really hard.
He tried really hard.
Yeah, he
and
tried
Wesley is in somewhere, the postscript to this, the tag scene, is somebody delivering a bunch of bear pelts to Wesley Sniper. And he turns around, his face completely shadowed, and he looks at them. And then he hits a button, and the messenger who delivered these falls through the trap door. And he looks up and he yells, Statham! And on that ringing note, we go into scene 3.
right. I don't know
I'm gonna roll the d20 for y'all this time. 17. It's a gala opening that we are going to.
Ooh.
And the great, love it. I just rolled for the Wesley machinations. So we're going to a gala opening. What of the Statham trackers do you think that we should do for a gala opening?
I hope we can also borrow outfits from the Pope.
Jason will cover the cost of your gala outfits.
Okay, good.
So, what do you think the tracker is for the gala opening? Death, sadness, boredom, or arrested?
Boredom.
Phoenix, you concur?
Yeah.
Yes, those gala openings are, in fact, fairly boring for the most part. I'm going to go with sadness for this one.
All right.
Because it's not Jason Statham's movie. It's someone else's movie.
That makes sense.
And the possibility of not being the center of attention is not great. It's quite sad. So those are the 2 trackers we will be tracking this round. So, to start off with this gala opening, you are both dressed to the nines. You have actually met Jason at a hotel for this one. He spent the day with his stylist getting ready, getting massaged and pampered and whatever. And you both went very briefly to your personal homes where your outfits for the night had been delivered. You gussied yourselves up. And who gets there first? Phoenix or McFace?
Phoenix.
Definitely Phoenix. Because I get there when Statham gets there.
Well, Statham's already there in the hotel. You were there when he got dropped off, but he was not ever going to leave his hotel room until basically to leave for the gala.
I'm wherever Statham is.
So you have a room in the hotel. You have your own separate room on the same floor that you went to get dressed in. So the only person who needs to arrive is Phoenix, and Phoenix sends you a message that says, I'm coming up. So you're waiting for Phoenix outside of Jason's. Hello, Cattail.
Will do.
Cat butt.
Ooh, look at that mustache. You're waiting outside of Jason's room when you hear the bing of the elevator's opening, and the elevator is open to reveal Phoenix in his gala best. Phoenix, what are you wearing?
I mean, a 3-piece suit.
Of course.
It's burgundy, and I have a little ascot.
Ooh, like it?
Ooh.
My hair is slicked back perfectly. No pomp.
It's almost like you're basing this off of something.
And I walk up to McFace and hand him a flower. There's the pellet.
McFace, what's up, my dude? Your boyfriend's like super romantic.
So I'm wearing a regular, black 3-piece suit that barely fits me, so my muscles are like really prevalent in this whole getup because
Make sure you don't split a seam.
I'm gonna say like a little bit of button gap going on.
Yeah, I'm real beefed. So, I accept the flower from my boyfriend and I immediately turn red from head to toe. Because I'm just super embarrassed about how much I love this flower.
Do you know what to do with the flower?
I take the flower and I put it behind my ear.
Aww.
And then I realize I'm wrong and I put it in my pocket.
Do you realize you're wrong when Phoenix kind of signals that you're wrong?
Yeah, Phoenix is just like, and then I'm like, oh, right. And I take the flower and I put it in my pocket.
Very cute. Y'all
Yeah.
cute.
We adore him.
And so you're standing in that like one anime shot where people are just like a little bit too close, and it looks like Phoenix like is desperate to move the boutonniere himself, but you do it, and just as you're there and you look into his eyes and you're sharing this beautiful moment when all of a sudden the doors
and there's
crash
like
open!
cherry blossoms like falling and all this other stuff. So funny story, I didn't see cherry blossoms for the first time until I was in my 20s, and it was when I lived in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And my first thought was, oh my god, it falls the way that it does in anime.
The anime got it right.
So yeah, so like cherry blossoms are falling, and then all of a sudden these doors open. Moment ruined.
And the cherry blossoms go kind of scattering around the hallway, and like no one thinks to ask where all of these blossoms just kind of came from. And Jason Statham is standing there in his tux, looking just absolutely fabulous, with kind of a manic look in his eyes, and he says, "It's gala time." You both look very gay. And then he just walks through you into the elevator, and he stands there looking at you, and you're both looking at him, and the door starts to close. What do you do?
Oh no! Run and put my hand between the doors.
That is
Love.
your job.
Don't hurt your hand.
Give me these hands or weapons rolls so that you don't accidentally damage the doors.
We have a 6 and a 6.
Amazing.
Dose 6.
If there's an unexpected thing you want to happen, let me know.
Maybe that the elevator is a little full with Jason Statham and the other people in the elevator, and I have to be squished against my boyfriend.
So you barely make it in time. You weapon hand your way right in to the closing doors. They close in your hand, and Phoenix, you're looking at McFace like, didn't that hurt? And McFace looks down at you and goes, no, baby. These hands are weapons. And the doors open, and you're just like, oh. And McFace, in the smoothest move of smooth moves, as you're standing there with one hand out, you just wrap that arm right around those hips, and y'all two-step into the elevator. Eyes just locked on one another. And it takes you a moment to realize the elevator is absolutely packed. And that all eyes are on you. That while Jason appreciates your love, does not appreciate not being the center of attention, and also does not appreciate the plebeians that are surrounding him.
Whatever, Jason.
So after a moment of closeness and just looking at one another, you both pull apart and you form a little wall blocking him in. But where your arms press against each other, because this is very close quarters, you tangle your fingers together. And it's very erotic. Congrats. And you get out, you get into the limousine, and you head on. Except while you're in the limousine, you're like a few minutes into your trip, and I need y'all to make the equivalent of kind of a perception roll for your environment. So if you have a skill that gives you like attention to detail, for example, you can roll with that. Otherwise, you're just rolling the 4, the standard 4.
Ooh, I got a 2.
Ooh, a 2.
The other one's a 6, but I got a 2.
And bulky McBustle face. I think you're just rolling a 4. I don't think any of your others.
And 5.
You rolled a 5.
3 and then a 5.
Oh, okay. So you're both sitting there. Jason is staring out the window, and you get the sense that like there is an encroaching sadness to him that you're unsure of. And then there's a moment of silence, and you hear tweet tweet. That definitely sounds like a bunch of random birds. What? What? How do you go about investigating these weird random bird sounds?
I think that Phoenix should go first.
Well, as you know, I am quite perceptive.
Very.
And I'm going to observe. But while I am keeping one eye towards the bird sounds, I am also talking to Jason and being like, Jason, use me as a tool. The night is dark and full of terrors, and I can go scout for you. And then we can use your strength to defeat the monsters. Because I don't want him to get bored.
Give me a roll. See how well you... I assume you're spell doctoring?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an 8.
So Jason looks at you, and he hears you, and his eyes well with sadness and tears. Just they haven't fallen yet. And he goes, "Is that even possible?" And looks mournfully out the window. Jason Statham has slipped into the depths of sadness. He is in the doldrums. Your pitch just made him think about like everything he hadn't done, didn't have, couldn't do, how the system is rigged against you all, how nobody really has respect for celebrities anymore, and the power of fame is dwindling. And he stares out the window, and his ennui and the chirping sound of the birds sound mournful and sad, and you realize, like, Jason is in a gilded cage, too. He's trapped by the trappings of his own success and fame, and this gala, which isn't even about him. He's just showing up to show up. How he is like a bird himself. So please give me rolls to try and get Jason Statham out of his sadness.
So, my bet is convincing him that supporting a gala that's not about him actually makes it about him, and that it will give him points in the long run if he attends this gala, which is not predominantly about him.
Jason really, really appreciates making everything about him.
Yes.
This is a very good argument.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
5. 2.
So you say that, and Jason looks at you and goes, but it's not about me. It's not about me. It's never about me. Phoenix, you have one opportunity to pull this out.
Hey, Jason. Jason. When we get to this gala, all eyes will be on you, because how could they not admire your strength, your incredible handsomeness? Look, you spent all day with your stylist. You are stunning. You can do this. This is all you. Look how dressed up we are. Look how no one is looking at us and how they are looking at you.
This pocket square is phenomenal. Give me that roll.
6.
Did that succeed?
I mean, if we're saying that it was a spin doctor.
I think this is absolutely you spin doctoring the situation 100%. So you succeed. Did it match your d6?
No, it's a 1.
Okay. So you do that, and Jason looks at you, and he goes, you know what? You're right. I'm Jason Statham. I'm fabulous. There's no one that can defeat me. And just at that moment, you pull up to the gala, and Jason looks at the two of you. He nods at Phoenix, and he looks at McFace and says, maybe stick to the fisticuffs. It's better for us. And then he steps out into the red carpet, and flashes start going all around, and you both look at each other like, okay, we gotta give him his, like, time to get those pictures. Except someone opens the trunk of your limo, which is really weird, and all of a sudden the chirping sounds become really much more prescient, and all of a sudden when you look out through the door, somebody's coming around and handing Jason Statham a couple of cages filled with rare exotic birds. Some of these cages, they hand them 3 cages, which he's, like, struggling to hold. One of those cages, the bird is 100% too big to be in that small cage. The others are so pretty and colorful and plumaged that you know that they did not come from around here. And Jason Statham is sitting there holding these baskets of birds, looking around as people are frantically taking pictures of him and asking if the birds are his, where he got the birds, what the birds are supposed to mean. And you can tell that Jason Statham is feeling overwhelmed, and that sadness is starting to creep back in as all of these questions are thrown at him. What y'all gonna do about it?
I'm going to go up to go put myself in front of Jason, in between him and the people, and tell them that they are stealing his intellectual property by capturing his image without permission.
So you're gonna lawyer
I'm lawyer-luring them.
Excellent. McFace, what are you doing?
I'm gonna extract him and try to get him out of that situation so that he can actually enjoy the red carpet.
Perfect. Give me your rolls, please.
Oh! Matching 2s!
Yes.
I got 7 and 3.
So, McFace goes to try and extract Jason, but what you fail to take into account is the bulky bird cages. So y'all are kind of caught in this awkward red carpet dance of where you want me to go somewhere, but like, what do I do with these birds? And you're like, well, can I take the birds? But if I take one bird, the other birds will fall. This is a shit show. So while y'all are doing this in the background, Phoenix, you march up to the paparazzi and you give them a what for with your lawyer skills. Do you want to give them a what for in this forum, or do you want to not play that out?
I think I'm gonna skip playing it out
Okay.
because I don't know if I'll do it that well.
That's fine. So yeah, you give them, I mean, you did a very brilliant summary of your argument beforehand. So you give them that whole thing, and like they slowly stop taking pictures, and they're kind of looking at you and are like, oh, okay. And you get to the point and you pick out one of them, like the Getty guy, who's still taking pictures, and your whole thing builds up to a moment where you point at that guy and you're like, don't be that guy. And it's like a wave of power comes off of you, and the force of your dedication to truth and justice is like an EMP coming out of you, and it kills all of the cameras in the vicinity. It shuts it all down, even the cell phones and stuff. Just everything is gone. All the corrupted memory cards, all of it.
Ooh.
And you end that, and you're like, yeah, I fucking nailed that, man. No PR disasters here. But you turn around, and Jason is still standing there with these 3 cages in his arms, and McFace being like, give me one. Just pick one. So y'all are still on the red carpet leading into the gala.
Well, what I'm gonna do is look at Jason and say, which one's your favorite?
Jason looks down, and he goes, the big one. Right in the middle.
I'm gonna take the 2 smaller ones, hand one to McFace, take one myself, and we are going to walk.
That you don't have to roll for that. That is a very simple thing, and Jason seems to be like, oh, this is a great idea. So he and his like big old friend head down the carpet, and they step into the gala, and there is security there checking everyone in. And they recognize Jason. Of course, they recognize Jason. You're given a lot of leeway because you are with Mr. Jason Statham. But then one of the security guards, who's like very clearly an off-duty police officer, looks at that bird, and he looks at Jason, and he looks at your 2 birds, and he looks at Jason, and he goes, what you got there? And Jason says, oh, it's a big fuck-off bird. He's my friend. And the security, the cop who's masquerading as security goes, oh, I mean, that looks like a strawberry-crested macaw. And Jason looks at the bird, and the bird kind of looks at Jason. And Jason looks like, well, looks like a strawberry. It could very well be true. And you get the sense that this cop thinks something is up with your birds, because you see him pull out, like, you know, the little earwig they have. You see him go to speak into his earwig.
Sure.
To report in. So you interrupt. Phoenix,
Sure.
What do you say?
So these birds that we found, these birds that we were handed, we are their protectors. We are here to keep the birds in their rightful place at this gala. These birds of glory are here to attend this gorgeous gala, and we are just their ushers.
Give me that spin doctor roll.
11.
Hey, this guy looks at you and goes, yeah, I don't think that's true. And he kind of shifts a little bit, and you catch a look at his cufflinks, and you see that WS written on them. And the guy looks dead at Jason Statham and goes, "Those birds are endangered and most of them don't survive captivity." And you see the sadness flood over Jason Statham.
Hold on, my cat is going into my bag.
Oh no!
Rudy, what the fuck are you doing?
So y'all will need to do a roll to try and prevent this sadness from taking over Jason Statham.
All right. My role is to completely block out that guy and get in the way of Jason Statham's view of him, and then just tell Jason Statham a funny joke that makes him forget everything about it.
All right. Give me a roll for that.
2! 5.
So you do that. You break this guy's view of Jason and Jason's view of him, which just gives him a little distance. And you kind of are up in that dude's grill, like, Phoenix, McFace has managed to interpose themselves between Jason and this Wesley Sniper cop pretty successfully. What do? You're trying to combat the sadness.
I am looking at Phoenix, and I'm going to take his hand in mine.
McFace's? You are Phoenix.
I am Phoenix. That's true.
Hey. I mean, if you want to date yourself, there's no law against it.
I am also looking at Jason. Be like, Jason, you are the exception. You are not the rule. These birds will thrive in your exceptional care. You are a master. It's ornithologist?
Yes.
You are a master ornithologist.
Audubon Society ain't got nothing on you.
And you will give this strawberry bird the best life it can live.
As the person from New Orleans, I think that it is okay for me to say that the Audubon Society has nothing on you.
It's official. McFace sealed and okayed.
Okay, I got a 4.
Huzzah!
And a 2. But
Okay.
4.
So you succeed, and there's no ticking up on the sadness tracker. Jason Statham kind of looks at you and is like, "Dope, man. Yeah. This strawberry macaw. This is what's been missing in my life. Oh, yeah." And he just rolls straight through that metal detector, holding his bird, and he's like, "Yeah, strawberry macaw. I'm gonna name him Shortcake." So the bird's name is now Shortcake.
I love it.
Strawberry shortcake.
And he heads in. You try and follow him, and you are immediately blocked by corrupt Wesley Sniper Cop and his cronies who have formed a barrier. And they look at you, and they say, "You keep getting in the way. And we can't have that. You are denied entry."
What?
That's illegal.
How dare you do that to my boyfriend?
There is no such thing as legality for Mr. Sniper. We are above and beyond the law. But
no one is above and beyond the law.
Oh, well, I guess that's true, which is why we called the cops on your boss and his very rare and very illegally imported birds. So what are you going to do about it? And they all square up on you.
I realize they're super into gambling, and I decide to play a gambling game with them. That if I roll higher than them, then they have to let us go.
What are you rolling? D6s, D8s, D12s?
This is a D12.
All right. You know what? He says, "I'll take that bet."
All right.
He rolled a 2.
I rolled a 1.
Yes, you did, McFace.
Well,
So this guy
I tried.
actually really seems intimidated by you and is like, oh. But then there's something at the end. You just kind of lose steam. You start doubting yourself a little bit. You remember eating pavement that time yesterday. And there's like he sees that hesitance of doubt, and he just pops you one in the nose. You are now well, let's build on the other one, because I feel like this is building like one per, and so let's say that you have stability 1 and well, no, we would have to reset it. So you have stability 2, adrenaline 1 now. I'm gonna have to play around with this stability and adrenaline in other games to see really how it works as a mechanism. So yeah, you're at 2 and 1. So you have to add 1 to all of your rolls now. And you have just, you basically, you have a broken nose and it's totally bleeding. And you can't really do much about it because one of your arms has this bird cage in it. So you really only have the one punchy. And we will say that you had not thought about it and you were actually trying to fight this guy with your non-dominant hand. So your nose is bleeding and you switch over. You switch the side of the bird cage, so now your dominant hand is free.
You punched my boyfriend.
Yep, Man Phoenix, he punched your boyfriend, but good. But good. What are you gonna do about it?
Those cops you called, those real cops that you called, they don't like it when you punch someone.
It's assault.
That is against the law. Assault is high crime. There is no proof that Jason stole this bird. Jason is helping this bird. There is all of the proof. See that blood on your hand? That you punched my boyfriend and you violently assaulted him unprovoked.
Very fucking rude of them. Give me that law lore roll.
It's a 2.
You succeed, and they're actually now like, oh, we did just put in a general call to the cops. We did not actually call our people. You're not wrong.
Good job. Good job.
Whoops. So they are like, ah, fuck. Peace. And all of a sudden it's like somebody said 5-0 scatter, and they're gone. They're completely gone. And you're looking around like, well, let's go do it. And the gala goes without a hitch. Jason Statham, with your help, manages to make the gala all about himself in a way that doesn't piss too many people off. And you have successfully completed scene number 3. You get him back successfully. Good job. And now we go on to scene 4, which is the final scene.
Did we make it?
You made it to 4. We'll see, because both of you are going to roll me at D20 and tell me what the result is, because the final scene, we roll twice on the holiday excursion chart, and I rolled twice on the Wesley sniper chart. So
I got a 14.
You got a 14, so we're going to a fancy restaurant. McFace.
And a 6.
A fancy restaurant that is near, adjacent to, or inside the Chandelier Museum. Let's see.
All right.
Oh. I cannot wait for y'all to encounter. I rolled bears again, which I'm not gonna do. Oh my god, this is gonna be amazing. So it's the day after the gala. How are y'all recovering?
Drinking lots of Pedialyte.
So McFace is going the Pedialyte route. Phoenix,
I am drinking. I mean, I'm eating my eggs. steak and eggs, but also every so often walking over to McFace and handing them an ice pack, because I know McFace is not going to ice their nose without prompting.
It's true, and it is.
It's true.
It's not great. McFace has those little bruise marks right here. Nose is a little bit crooked.
And honestly, it's kind of hot.
It is.
But,
it is very rugged.
But I don't want McFace to be uncomfortable.
Fair. This is one of those things that should happen like every once in a while, but you shouldn't plan for it. It's that kind of kink. It's the opportunistic kink that as it comes to me, it's great.
Agreed.
Where are y'all sitting around the table? Are you canoodling in a breakfast nook? How are you situated yourself?
I feel like we're looking at each other from across the table, because if we were canoodling, it would go, we're very attracted to each other, and we're very aware that we're in public.
Yeah,
At our
we're
boss's
very aware
house.
that we're in public and we're just staring at each other from across the table.
And as you're staring lovingly, longingly, lustfully into one another's eyes, you hear a woo, and Jason Statham runs into the room, jumps onto the chandelier, uses it to spin himself around, and then ends up on the table, stretched out along it like this. That Burt Reynolds pose where he's very furry and wearing the leopard
Of course.
thong is what we're
Yes.
going with.
I've seen that movie.
Phoenix, you'll be low. McFace, you'll be high. McFace, you get the full frontal. Phoenix, you get the full not frontal, rear roll. So you get a very, very nice butt. McFace, you get a very, very nice chest. It may lead you to a little bit of envy.
Sure.
Chest. Like, that's just muscle. That's muscle on top of muscle on top of muscle. It's really
Mommy
rude.
milkers.
And of course, Jason is just like gloriously oiled up so that all of his muscles gleam. It really catches
Excuse
the
me.
shadows.
Mommy milkers.
And he looks at you and he says, "Who's mommy in this situation?"
They're just mommy milkers, you know, they're just very big.
Great. We forgot to choose a track. So for this excursion to the Chandelier Museum that is attached to a, what was the other thing? A fancy
Fancy
restaurant. What track do you think should count? Death, Sadness, Boredom, or Arrested?
Arrested.
Arrested.
Arrested at the fancy highfalutin restaurant / Chandelier Museum.
So many opportunities to get arrested.
I'm gonna go Death. Because Death is always fun, and this is the final scene. So let's go for broke. Death or Arrested. In doing this, though, Jason Statham did destroy the chandelier that was hovering over this table. So it's very sparkling when it falls around him. With his, well, did we have an answer to who's the mommy in this situation? Did we come to a conclusion?
I mean, Jason Statham does have the mommy milkers, so he would have to be mommy.
According to you. So please roll to let me know if either of you are the mommy milkers. Phoenix, you're included in this roll. It's just a 4.
Just a D4?
Yeah.
Oh no, I rolled a 10.
Oh, wait. I rolled a 2.
So it's definitely not Phoenix. Phoenix is like, I'm not involved in a conversation about mommy milkers. This is not a legal term that I recognize. It's not a thing. I'm not here for it. Jason is looking at you, McFace, like this. And when you say, like, it's clearly you, Jason goes, no, I don't think so. Can a mommy milker do this? and he swings his legs around so he's facing Phoenix on the table, so his back is to you. And then he flips back, wraps his legs around your head, continues backwards over you, does a backflip, uses the legs that he's like hooked under your armpits, and you get like the full crotch in your face.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that Jason Statham doesn't know what mommy milkers are.
Jason Statham doesn't necessarily care what mommy milkers are because they aren't called Jason milkers or Statham milkers.
Statham milkers are actually pretty great.
So he flips you over and like throws you through the window, because it's like a big just sliding glass doors windows that shows you the beach. He throws you through them. You roll, you crash through the window, roll off of the deck onto the sand, and there's so many tourists that look back and they're like, what? Only to see Jason Statham jump up onto the railing and look at you and go, ha ha! You're the mommy milker now. And then
Fair
he
enough.
leaps at you.
Fair enough.
How do you respond?
I tell Jason Statham, fair enough, and admit that I am the mommy milkers.
Give me a roll.
5.
He doesn't believe you. Did you roll a 5?
Yes.
He doesn't believe you, and he has now become convinced that you probably work for Wesley Sniper.
Oh no.
And y'all are off.
Jason.
You're in a fight
Jason.
now.
Jason.
Mm-hmm. What?
It's McFace. McFace was just complimenting your chest. McFace was just appreciating what you have put so much work into. He is here for you. We are here for you. Jason.
Give me that good old spin doctor roll.
4. The other one's a 2.
Jason pauses, and now you have the beautiful image, the tussling that has gone on so far. Jason has managed to get McFace, who doesn't really truly want to fight him because this is his client and boss who's just temporarily like lost his mind. He's managed to like flip McFace onto his back and is straddling him in a way that you're like, if you were both of our client, probably, most likely, absolutely, yes. Except you're a client and you're also Jason Statham, so no. So, McFace, you were in a tussle with Jason, who was like in the process of clearly trying to fight you, and then your boyfriend's voice of reason comes through, and Jason stops, and he's straddling over your hips, ready like this, ready to fight, looking down at you, like, maybe you don't work for the Sniper. What do you say to further convince or to engage Jason?
My boyfriend is not wrong, and how I feel reflects how my boyfriend feels.
Okay. Give me that roll.
9.
Jason looks over at Phoenix and looks at you, and Jason leans over and goes, "You worthy of him?" And who are those fighting words? Oh, are those fighting words? What you gonna do about that?
Well, I'm saying hi to my cat.
Hi, Pretty. Well, not you, Phoenix. This is a McFace.
I know.
This is a McFace being insulted about whether or not.
Don't you dare tell me I'm not worthy of my boyfriend!
And all of a sudden, you hear this sharp, strident voice
Let me
behind
say-
you go, Well, you're not. And when everyone turns around and looks, you hear Jason sit up and go, Kate? And Kate looks at him and goes, Jason, I see we're back to our brawling days. Jason, this is, as you know, as employees of Jason Statham and having received his full file, this is Jason Statham's estranged aunt from a step-parent's side. He inherited this person. And she's looking at him with extreme disdain, and she's looking at both of you like you are worthless. And she looks back at Jason and says, when you are done tussling in the sand, which gets everywhere, we do have a reservation at 1 for La Poubelle Extraordinaire. So if you could, join me in the limousine. Now. And she turns around and she walks away, and Jason Statham flops onto the beach and goes, I can't anymore. That's my aunt. And I only live to make her proud of me. She's going to tell my mom. She's going to tell everybody what she saw here. I would rather die. And he flops over dramatically and invites death to come unto him. Jason Statham is now literally courting death. How do you convince him not to do this? He's gonna just lay down and die.
I tell him that it's easier to placate his aunt and just go through with it than to actually die.
Give me that roll.
4.
Yeah, he sits up and looks at you, and he's like, okay, maybe, because I don't seem to be dying as fast as I want. And then he looks over at you, Phoenix, for further reassurance.
What is this restaurant called again?
What? Sorry?
What's this place called again?
Oh, this is just on the beach outside of...
No, the reservation.
Oh, La Poubelle Extraordinaire.
Jason, have you ever been to La Poubelle Extraordinaire?
I mean, no, it opened like 4 days ago. I've been with you. Oh, I've been with you. My aunt is so correct.
Have you heard the stories of it?
I mean, I heard that Jennifer Aniston was there last night. I heard that Tom Cruise was invited to the opening. Was I invited to the opening? Why wasn't I at the opening?
I think you were invited to the opening, and we had better things to do. And how much of a power move is it to go on the 4th day for a light lunch like you don't care at all?
I don't care. I'm Jason Statham. Why would I care? They should care that
right?
I haven't.
And you are not going to be seen by the paparazzi. You are going solely to have a lovely meal with your beloved aunt.
Give me a roll to see how well you've convinced him of this.
Okay. Hi. Oh, good. Oh, no. Got a 12. It's fine.
You've almost got him. You've so almost got him. And then he looks over at McFace, who really didn't do a great job, and he looks at you and goes, no, you're both in cahoots. It's better to end it all. And he sprints straight for the ocean. Because of the 12, the thing that happens is that he just decides to, like, immediately and dramatically kill himself in the dumbest way possible. So he's gonna roll on his Death Eater. He rolled a 1. So his attempts to drown himself dramatically in the ocean.
He's just too strong of a swimmer.
Yeah, well, y'all kind of watch him for a little bit, and every time he gets a little bit too far out, he just starts swimming, and you're like, okay, but you're not gonna be able to meet those 1 p.m. reservations. And he kind of, like, pretends to drown, and then all of a sudden you hear behind you, Jason, now! And he pops up, and the ant is standing there, and somewhere she got a fur stole. It's California in the summer. Nobody should be wearing fur, but she is. And everybody follows suit. Even the 2 of you jump to that order in the tone. Y'all get in the car. You're sitting across from this very icy looking woman, and then Jason piles into the car, and she looks at him and goes, "You're wet." And Jason starts to get hypothermia from the air conditioning in the car and that he's in wet clothes. So y'all need to see so much he's inching closer to death, and the ant has no interest in helping him because he did this to himself. This was really stupid. She advocated for just her sister not having a child, and we got Jason out of it.
Jason, are you cold?
There's no such thing as
Jason.
cold. It's all in your head. It's all in your head.
Jason, take off your clothes.
Phoenix is advocating for taking off the clothes. McFace.
I bring a blanket.
Okay, so then let's see how well Phoenix does at convincing Jason to take off his clothes. Are you justifying Spin Doctor for this?
I think I can justify Spin Doctor for this.
I think you can too.
We need to admire your body, Jason.
I mean, if he's going to die of hypothermia, he might as well do it showing off what the good Lord gave you. If you got it, flaunt it. What'd you roll?
4!
Hold on, we're doing Phoenix first.
I got a 4 and then a 3.
So you tell him this, and it makes sense. So he strips down, and the ant is like, no! And just, like, goes into a little corner, and is like, Jason, put some clothes on immediately! And Jason's like, well, I don't have any. They're all wet, including the boxers. McFace, you have a blanket? You got a 4?
Yes.
You have a blanket, but how do you put them on? Because if you cover up the nudity, the ant may re-engage with the scene.
I just put it around his shoulders, and it's up to him whether or not he wants to cover his junk.
Jason has no shame. Shame is a foreign concept to Jason Statham. He kind of uses the blanket to do his hair, wraps it loosely around his shoulders, and he crosses his legs so that, from your point of view, most everything is covered except for, like, the glorious, glorious torso.
Of course.
And the beautiful tattoos. And you're kind of sitting there looking at him, and he has escaped anything on the death tracker. And the ant, briefly, as y'all are talking, as you're going to this place, tries to re-engage, notices from her vantage point what's going on over there, and she's like, fuck no. And so you get a very pleasant journey from the Malibu house to the Chandelier Museum, which is in Koreatown. And the ant doesn't really bother you until you get out, at which point you pull up, and she looks at you, McFace, expectantly, and when you don't move, she says, well, the door.
Oh, of course I opened the door for her.
And she gets out. She's first out. The 3 of you are still in the car. Jason is moving to follow her out of the door.
I run and try to catch the door so that I can let him out and let them both enter together.
Well, the door's open. The 3 of you are in the car. The ant has left, and is waiting for you. So you gesture Jason out
Yes.
of the car.
Well,
Yes.
well, wait, McFace, you go first.
That is what McFace wants to do. Is ushers
Yeah,
Jason.
Jason.
Oh, you
hold
mean
my hand.
McFace go out of the car first?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you agree with this when Phoenix is like, McFace, go out of the car first?
Yes.
Okay, so McFace gets out of the car first. Phoenix.
Now I am pushing Jason, like ushering Jason gently, doing that horrible small back touch.
To get out of the car.
Yeah, to get out of the car.
Excellent. So are the two of you in between the ant and Jason, or are Jason and the ant beside each other?
So McFace is between the ant and Jason, and I'm behind Jason, making sure Jason actually leaves the car.
Okay, perfect.
Is that a baby Groot next to you?
It is.
Okay.
Got a little baby Groot, a little Venom,
Yeah.
and they were both looking at my pin holder, which is this dude.
Beautiful.
It's amazing.
So it's a whole tableau back here that's going on. Great. Let me see how I get. Hold on one second. How can I work this in? So, Jason and the ant, y'all keep a person in between them as you walk into the restaurant. And she keeps trying to get beside Jason, but y'all are playing the game of person in the middle, where you're playing the buffer to someone. Have you ever played this game in a social situation where you know that someone's trying to get someone else and you're like,
Yes.
this is not going to happen? That's essentially the game the two of you are playing as you go into the restaurant, which is attached to the Chandelier Museum, which is very well lit and very pretty. And the maitre d' expected you, is fawning over both Jason and his aunt. And you're sat at this beautiful table. Jason and his aunt are sat at this beautiful table with this like gorgeous, very complex spiral chandelier coming down to the middle of their table. And off of the spirals arc these beautiful sort of, they kind of curve out like this into points. And at the very point is where you screw in the light bulb. So it's a spiral that has these like cool little things coming out of it. And you as the help are sat at a table like a little bit away and to one side of Jason and his aunt. Still enough to be close and hear things if things go wrong, but definitely at your own table. And this is a very romantic kind of place to eat. You catch little snippets of Jason and the ant talking, and you get the sense that the ant is very much trying to eat away at Jason's self-esteem. And you hear a increasing anger at one another until you realize, oh, I've heard this before. Jason's about 2 steps away from legitimately flipping a table, which will get the cops called, and he's about to get arrested. So Jason is sliding up that arrested track, and y'all have one opportunity to nip this in the bud without causing a scene and getting you kicked out of the restaurant. What do?
I take a beer and bring it up to, I take 2 beers and bring it up to Jason, and I'm like, hey, let's have a drink.
The ant looks at you and says, the help was not invited.
I'm not the help. I'm his bodyguard, so that's completely different.
How?
I don't help him with anything other than fighting off other people.
And she looks at Jason and goes, do you need that help often? Are you still picking fights? And you see him kind of like shrink down, and he's like, no, that's not me. I'm not doing. And the anger continues to grow.
I'm out. Phoenix.
Well, you have to roll for convincing. I don't think you
Oh.
rolled, did you?
2. And 1.
So he hears you. He's still kind of like eyeballing his aunt, and he's still like, but like I don't pick these fights. Why are you blaming me for this? Phoenix, how are you gonna build?
Well, I'm gonna be like, Phoenix, this is McFace. This is your most loyal bodyguard, your friend. McFace has canceled dates between us to spend time with you. You are the center of our worlds right now. We could be off and get married in Vegas tomorrow, and instead we are here with you because we love you. Why would McFace lie to you?
That's such a good point. That's such a good spin.
I got a 1.
Ooh.
The other one's a 2.
And Jason like hears you, and he really hears you in a way that helps him realize like, oh, you're right. McFace has had my back. McFace has seen me at my worst. McFace has seen me bite it, almost succumb to cultists who seem to really like me, so it's really understandable why I was into these cultists. But McFace has both seen me at my worst and not been afraid to be at their worst in front of me. And you know what, Auntie? You always make me feel bad. You always make me feel like my fists and my feet aren't enough. And I know in my heart of hearts that my fists and my feet are always enough. And he delivers this very impassioned speech, which people hear, and the whole place stops and listens to him. And then you hear a smattering of applause as he says this. And the aunt just looks at him and goes, "Did you write me out of your will?"
Oh.
And he looks appalled and he goes, "I mean, of course not." And she goes, "Great." And a chandelier, the chandelier that was standing right above them, the pointy thing, falls. She takes one step back and it falls down. How do you respond?
I jump in the way of the chandelier and take the brunt of the force.
Heck yeah, you do.
And I do 3. And 3!
Ooh. So, McFace, how do you pull this off? You can do the most cinematic, most ridiculous save that you can think of.
Jump in the way, going and get in the way just in time to take the brunt of the chandelier before falling to the ground in front of Jason Statham, a crippling pile of mess, because I just took that all for him.
You did, and I'm going to say that you are now at stability 1, adrenaline 2, because even if we added to your roll, you still succeeded that one. So yes, you're at stability 1, adrenaline 2, so you're at +2 to roll, but you do it. You completely shield him. You take it on your nice, your suit. You're wearing your good suit, your Kingsman-esque suit today.
Hell yeah, Kingsman.
And though it still does give you like a decent amount of bruising, like your bruising on your back is going to be very impressive. And Phoenix is probably going to have to kiss every single one of those bruises. So you're not hating it that much. But you direct the chandelier away. You sacrifice your body to save Jason Statham. And he sees this. And that whole speech that was just given by Phoenix really resonates with him. And he looks over at Phoenix. Phoenix, what is your response to this incredibly heroic act that your love did? And yeah.
Babe, I'm just gonna go run up to him and give him a giant kiss. Like, I don't. There's no move to make. I'm just.
I mean, at this point, Jason has been upstaged, honestly, by true love.
By true love.
By true love.
But it's beautiful enough that I think even Jason appreciates it a little bit.
Absolutely. Give me a roll to see how much he appreciates it.
Okay. That's a 7.
I don't think you can really spin doctor this because it's just a reation to what's going on.
It's okay.
And Jason, he really loves everything he's seeing, and then he gets intensely jealous that he hasn't had that before or ever. And he starts thinking, you know, maybe my aunt is right. Maybe people deserve this. But I am not people. I am Jason Statham. And I don't think that I'm ever going to get this.
Jason.
He looks over at his aunt, and she looks at him, and she's his aunt, so she knows, and she goes, whatever you're thinking is 100% correct. And Jason gets very, very angry. And again, he's here to flip that table. He wants to get arrested. There's nothing here. It's not quite dramatic enough for him to, like, do a run into the ocean, so he's gonna just start wrecking the place.
I got this.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, you're the only reason why we're even together. We never would have met if it wasn't for you, and we never would have liked each other if it wasn't for you. Like, come on, dude. This wouldn't exist without you, so technically this is still all about you.
Jason. McFace, I hope this is okay. But Jason, when we get married, will you officiate?
Incredible. Good, such good teamwork. I love everything about this pairing. McFace, give me a roll to tell me how well that seed plants into the ground.
We have a 6 and a 3.
Can you justify any of your powers to use this?
Me?
Uh-huh.
Did I lose?
Well, so if you rolled a 6.
Oh, right. So I think that this is totally excavation because
Extraction?
Extraction.
I do like the idea of excavating him out of a situation, though.
This is extraction from a very embarrassing situation.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Like, you're really not wrong. So yeah, you nailed it with a 6, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he hears it and he's like, he's really willing to be convinced of his own awesomeness and his own positive role in this relationship and situation. So Phoenix, can you bring it home?
Jason. Is
What?
it that you haven't found love yet? Or that we, your friends, have yet to find you someone worthy of you?
That sounds like a both situation. He says to you.
It's not both, Jason. We are imperfect. We have to keep working. It is not you that needs to lower your standards or give up. It is us that needs to keep working. We will find this for you, Jason. You have the connections to people that are worthy of you.
Give me a roll.
We will find you that someone.
Give me a roll to find him that someone. Or at least convince him that you're capable of it.
3 and 3!
So you say this, and he's looking at you, and you can tell that he's skeptical. So you you think of the person that you could really imagine Jason with, and it's a friend of yours. It's a person who, when you think about them, you're like, just enough like Jason that I think they'd really get along, and just different enough that Jason that I think this is sustainable.
Jennifer Aniston.
Whatever friend you think of, the miraculous thing that happens is they walk through that door. So who's the friend you're thinking of?
Ooh. You think Jennifer Aniston is the right one?
I think Jennifer Aniston.
Okay.
Yeah. You could have done lawyer work for Jennifer Aniston. That's totally.
My friend Jen.
Have you met my friend Jen?
Have you met my friend Jen? When she broke up with Brad, she needed some help. And here I was.
Tell me more. And the second that he says that, there's a little ding, ding, and you hear the maitre d' go, "Oh, Miss Aniston, it's so nice to have you back at the Chandelier Museum's personal restaurant, La Poubelle Extraordinaire."
My friend Jen.
And you turn around and you're like, there she is. And
Jen!
you call her over and she sees you and she's like, "Oh, Phoenix!" And you come over and you hug, and it's been a minute since you've seen each other. But this is so good.
Can I introduce you to my boyfriend? This is McFace.
Oh.
But
A boyfriend. And she's looking at you like, oh,
can I tell you how I met him?
please.
So,
Was it great?
McFace is do you know Jason here?
She turns and looks at Jason, and you immediately see the heart eyes. And she's like, we've never had the pleasure. Jen.
Well, Jason does not need any real introduction, but McFace is Jason's bodyguard.
And she looks at you, and she's like, "Oh, I've seen you around at industry things. I've heard good things about this one," she says to Jason. And Jason kind of looks at her and is like, "Oh, yeah, McFace has seen me in the best of times and the worst of times, and has stuck with me. I approve. I'm responsible for this relationship, so it's gonna go the distance. For sure. For sure." And they look at each other and they kind of don't say anything. And you realize, like, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. This is...
Why don't the two of you take Jen's table and the two of us will sit nearby so you can talk?
And the aunt goes, I object.
It's
What do
okay.
y'all do?
Auntie Strahan, sit with us. Sit with us.
Yes, come sit with us, please. We have much to ask you about.
We want to know all about Jason.
The aunt is not going to go willingly, and when she gets a little bit closer, you realize that one of the buttons that go down the front of her shirt have that WS insignia that you've seen everywhere on them. And she tries to push through y'all to get to
Jason. What's a question that only your aunt would know?
Yes.
What's something only your aunt would know about you?
He thinks about it for a second.
So ask her about it. Ask her about it.
Ask my aunt.
Yeah. Just ask her.
Okay. And he asks, let's see. Tell me about the door that went ouch. He says to his aunt. And she looks at him and goes, Jason, we had this conversation. If a door makes you hurt, then you're either using the door wrong or it's not a door. And he looks at her and goes, that's not wrong, but like, what's the story? And I'm gonna actually have her roll for this. I'm gonna use I'm gonna pretend that she's an agent and has Statham lore 8. Ooh, she rolled a 10. So she tries to spin this lore out, and you can tell that Jason's like, there's something wrong about this. This sounds like an interview I gave a few years ago, where I talked about this sort of incident with a trapdoor that I fell through in my aunt and uncle's barn. But I left out some very key details that you were also leaving out. So I'm suspicious. And Jason Statham gently kind of pushes Jennifer Aniston behind him and squares up for a fight. He's still aiming to get arrested.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Anti-stray him.
It's Rosmer. Thank you very much.
Okay, Rosmer, take off your mask.
I mean, would you really ask a woman to do that in public?
In fact, I would.
I don't think so.
Force his mask off.
Are you gonna, these hands are weapon her?
Hell yeah.
Cool, do it. Do it.
And I rolled a 6. And a 6!
So, Phoenix,
just
is there
think
anything
that,
you want to do in this kerfluffle? Because the Ant and McFace are gonna get into a legit, struggle fight. Is there anything you're
Honestly, I think I just want to watch with hard eyes.
That is completely, absolutely an option that you could do. So feel free to chant encouragement or anything at the love of your life. McFace, how do you go in it?
Off, puts in chokehold, pulls hair, gives noogie.
Love it. So we're gonna reverse that a little bit. You're gonna she lunges, like claws first for Jason, and you just intercept her. Like you just go for the full body wrap around and you haul her back, and you take the mask and you rip it off, and you immediately go in for the noogie. And Phoenix, you're like, that's Tom Cruise!
What?
And we smash cut away. We end the episode on McFace having ripped off the Ant's mask to reveal Tom Cruise underneath with the Wesley Sniper buttons on. And he lays there underneath you, humiliated. And he goes, I'm the best action star now. I'll get you Wesley
Get outta
Sniper.
here.
And your little dog, too. And that's the end of Jason Statham's Big Vacation. Good job, everybody.
I loved it.
That was delightfully ridiculous. I'm so glad that you rolled a double at the very end so I could throw that random Tom Cruise cameo in there.
I love it.
Oh, this is so good. Thank you all so much for doing this. Thanks everybody who tuned in for this wild ride. We successfully protected Jason Statham's Big Vacation. And that was actually my first time really running with the stability and adrenaline. And I think it actually works really well.
I really liked it. I think it worked really well.
Because it makes everything a little bit harder as you go along, which I think is kind of the point of working with celebrities. Thank you to my guest players. Stacy, you want to give a little outro, a little shout out where people can find you / tune in?
Sure. So you can tune in now on the Monday nights that there is not organized chaos.
Yep.
You can watch me on Every Rose Has Its Thorn. My other show is on hiatus right now, but that would be on Thursday nights. You can find me at Staxelrod. I'm going to put that in the chat because that's hard to spell. On pretty much every social media you can think of. And yeah, this was
That's
fun.
right.
Yeah, this is great.
My
Jessie.
cat also likes to be the center of attention,
Yes.
just like Jason.
And Gritty does have their own Instagram account. It's Gritty
it's
Kitty?
at Itty Bitty Gritty Kitty.
Itty Bitty Gritty Kitty. I knew it was like a whole bunch of delightful rhymes that feel very good in your mouth. And it's so cute. Oh, look at Lucy. Jessie, where can we find you? What are you up to?
You can find me on Jessie Pridemore and most things, which I will leave in the chat. Jessie.Pridemore on Instagram, because Jessica bitch stole my name, and then I just got stuck with Jessie.Pridemore, which is obscene. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of it. I'm still working on building my Twitch right now, which I will be starting to do weekly Twitch for teaching people how to cosplay and stuff like that.
Awesome. That'll be really exciting. Tune in to Jessie's Twitch to find out about cosplay tricks and tips, which there's a lot of them out there, and Jessie knows most of them, so. And yes, I am your Stathan Master, Alex. You can find me at Aleekza, Aleekza, on most platforms. And I'll be back here in 2 weeks to play Be Gay Do Crimes with a bunch of awesome queer people who are gonna do what they do best and be gay and be criminals. It's gonna be fantastic. So tune in next week and we'll see you then.
Bye.